Hello, hello, THL. Welcome to Sunday Showdown. I'm your stream up, Naku. Got some wonderful matches tonight. A couple in our playoff, moving on to the playoffs. So we got a match that I'm trying to remember offhand. I'm pretty bad with that. Been doing this for so long, I forget how to do it. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm going to introduce our casters. So tonight, Geranium Battle is going to join, I think, his first night for Sunday Showdown. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastically. This is, naturally, as it goes with Sunday Showdown, this is a lot of the final matches to see whether teams can actually make it in. So very excited.
I'm super excited to get it all lined up from Monday past. And then we have the man, the myth, the Mayanna Dawn. How are you, man?
Hello, hello. Wow, really excited tonight. First time with Geranium Battle, so this will be a fun one for sure.
Yep.
And like you said, we got some really heated matchups coming up tonight. Starting off with that Hero Series, potentially finishing off in a nice little sandwich with the Hero Series too. But we'll get to that in a second. Purple Conference, it's going to be Always Just in Time versus Super Chicken. And it is currently a very, very close matchup here at Diamond versus Make a 5 seed out of a molehole, excuse me. A molehole, yeah. That's a mouthful.
Try and put them on a screen when you're trying to write them all down. Damn.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. But yeah, 9-5 right now on the series. Both teams kind of fighting for those spots here. And you know, this could be a decider. If Justin is able to take the win, that would seal the week. But Super Chicken can start to turn things around here for a Make a 5 seed for the week, and potentially, I don't know, can they make it here to the playoffs? I think. Yeah, this is the playoffs. Is this the playoffs?
This is
playoffs.
First week of playoffs. And in the first week of playoffs, actually, Make a 5 seed out of a molehole has the last match of this too. So if they actually win this first one, then they will guaranteed make it in on the last one. But we'll talk about that in a second here.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, really sweet matchup there. And then the other two matchups waiting in the wings before we jump into this one here will be Legacy Series Silver Conference, Vino Spumoni versus Ron Mexico, Hot Zilf versus Hearthstone Academy. Currently, Hot Zilf's with a lead, but it's a close one. Very, very close, where I believe, Saku, you said that score should be 10-8, right? So going into this 10-8 matchup, anyone's game in the playoffs here. So big matchups all around. And then finally, like you said, that Hero Series, we could potentially see Wild9 versus CMAC, depending on the result of that first match that we have coming right up.
Yeah, so if you want to see 3 matches tonight, then you better be rooting for Super Chicken to beat out Always Just in Time. And if you want to get us into bed early, then Always Just in Time winning, followed by a quick one way or the other from Vino or Ron to seal it out. Now, I will say that the HSA and Hot Zilfs actually fought earlier on this season, just a few weeks ago. And it was a very close win, actually, for HSA here. So somewhat looking pretty similar. We're going to see whether they can sort of repeat the magic or whether Vino can take back control.
Yeah, certainly a chance here. And I was about to just talk about the matchup, but we look like we have bans, so I won't ask you that question. But our decks going in to tonight for this matchup, we have Hunter, Shaman, Warrior for Always Just in Time, Druid Band out, and for Super Chicken, Demon Hunter, Shaman, and Warrior with the Druid Band out on that side as well. So people not wanting to see what is it, Kazamakis, Kazaka, whatever, however you want to say it. People say it in all different ways.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. People not wanting to see that Druid, don't blame them at all. So we are going to see that Shaman Warrior potential mirrors, and then Hunter versus Demon Hunter. Any predictions here going in, just based on those classes? A lot of different decks coming to mind right away. But what are you thinking going into this?
Yeah, so I mean, Shaman, I think maybe the most powerful Shaman right now is Burn Shaman, but the counter to that is the Control Warrior, and both players have Warrior brought. So the Shaman is maybe a little bit limited in scope here, depending on how exactly they want to tag it. They also could be bringing maybe some Vipers in their Burn Shamans to try and defeat the Bulwarks. We'll see what their options are.
Yeah, absolutely. That Warrior, probably either a variant of that Control or that Charge Control Warrior. But you can always see something a little spicy in these as well. Shaman, like you said, very, Burn Shaman being the most popular right now, but into that Warrior, when you're leaving it up with that Druid ban, maybe there's something else going on there. Demon Hunter, I think most popular is that Fell DH with the Quest. So we'll see if that is going to be the case there on that side. And then Hunter, I've seen some interesting sort of lineups with Hunter recently. We've got obviously the standard face. There's now the Drekthar face Hunter that's sort of going around. And then Quest Hunter has, is one of Justin's babies that I know.
Yeah, I actually thought that I would have thought that Super Chicken would have brought it too. I remember he played Quest Hunter quite a bit last season, but no, in this case it looks like Justin's the only one who can bring it, and I think actually Drekthar Quest Hunter is also maybe the most popular version there too. So either Hunter probably seeing some Drekthar.
All right, if you guys are ready to see some Drekthar.
Oh, I'm ready.
They are ready to go.
Let's get in there.
I will let the players know that they can start, and then we'll go from there. So first to spectate is going to be Super Chicken, so it'll be at the bottom of the screen for our viewers, with always Just in Time or AJT at the top of the screen. So let's get going.
Yeah, get them in there. Nice matchup here. I think two players that have played each other a few times for sure.
Yeah, and have teamed together as well in the past.
Yeah.
So we're going to see plenty of team kills tonight, I think. Meanwhile, first deck, I mean, I don't know, I'm probably expecting Hunter versus Shaman. What are you thinking they're going to bring first here?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It depends. It depends also on that Shaman bring. I could definitely see Justin ripping that Hunter first. But maybe the answer there then is Warrior for Super Chicken. Let's see. I see some eyeballs. Let's go.
This ends now.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, one of them brought Shaman at least.
Yeah, the Shaman on the other side, and then DH for Super Chicken. So this does look like that Quest Fell DH. Okay. And on the other side, Quest Shaman. Yeah, that was another sort of option that I was thinking in my head in this sort of matchup. If you're banning the Druid and you expect the Warrior.
Yep, and this is a very good option. One of the things that Warrior does well is they just survive through all the burn that Burn Shaman has. But Quest Shaman just has almost infinite value at a certain point. So if you're not playing, a win condition with Charge Control Warrior, then you're probably just going to get outvalued at some point. Meanwhile, though, actually a little bit intrigued whether this is going to be, more of a pure Quest DH, maybe with Brutes, or whether this is going to be sort of a Fell leaning Quest DH.
Yeah, my lean. I mean, we saw the Magtheridon in the original hand. I think that is pretty telling for the Fell version. It's almost like a staple in that list. I don't know that the Brute list is running it, but I'm not as familiar with that one.
Was a mistake.
It's definitely looking to me like Fell, but we shall see. Meanwhile, Justin, not too much going on here for what you want to be doing early.
No draw is quite a downside, but he is able to really set the pace because he has the early bloom.
Yeah, and it looks like that bloom is going to come down. along with this coin. So we're going Zapper and the Slogger. Get your mana crystals unlocked. Pretty good turn, too.
Yeah, seeing the quest DH on the other side probably reasons that the opponent doesn't have much removal available, which is correct.
Yeah, and most of the removal won't deal with that 4 health very easily, even if they have that Talented Arcanist, like we do see with something, on 3 mana, you don't have too many options. Chaos Leech does come off the top and remove the bigger threat, though. Or off the studies. Excuse me.
Okay, yeah, and we see Rust-Rot Viper as well, so I think we're really teching against that warrior here.
Yeah, and if we're... and that is a big pickup. So far we have played, I think, only a nature spell. Because both have been, just the nature spell so far.
Unfortunately, the coin is not a class. So...
Yeah. Not yet. All right, Chaos Strike coming down. Still only 2 draws. We're going to have to cycle this.
Wow, yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty awkward for Super
Very
Chicken.
Unfortunate to just not be able to quite get there on draws and have to keep resetting them. You might see a glide eventually, but don't really like it for now.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I was considering the glide that turn with the hand. I mean, it's not doing too much with the current board state. And I don't know that we want to glide their hand. They're seemingly lacking of resources, and now after this for sure, we don't want to refuel the hand for Justin for Super Chicken. So this might just be, let's glide. I don't like my hand. Get my quest reward first step. Need for Greed, not quite enough mana to play it even with, it's just going to be that 3. I don't know, I don't think the discount applies to that. I think it stays at 3, yeah. But it will be 4 next turn, since we didn't draw it.
So lucky, now it costs more. But yeah, that's the thing of going so fast early for Justin and then getting, just 1 or 2 removal options out of Super Chicken. It just means he's so slow now, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is not the place you want to be into this this DH. The DH will just continue to find those resources and has a lot of ways to heal too. So if you're not able to close things out and you're just chipping away, it could be a problem. And then on the other side, towards the end of the game, when you want to be making those big swings and those big minions, you always got to be looking out for the combo.
Yeah, I think the question on my mind is whether Justin is going to choose to go Lightning Bloom plus Fireheart or something next turn just to find anything.
Yeah, especially, we'll see what the draw is, but that might be exactly what we're looking at. And there is that Kurtrus. That's a really big pickup for Super Chicken.
Yeah, and probably just juicing the Kurtrus with 1 more weapon, hero power attack here.
Yeah. We have the Arcanist plus the Fell Scream, which is going to deal with most of this board here as well. Playing around the Fell Scream pretty well there with Justin minion placement.
Okay. That's if nothing else, at least that's card draw and an arcane spell for our later for our other multicaster. But yeah,
no Fin can stop us is an interesting one. Plays around some of the AoE potentials if they're only getting, I guess they often get double spell damage, so it's really a 6 AoE with a lot of their stuff. But the 3 damage AoE can be played around a little bit better this way.
And yeah, Justin is still in much the same position, but at least he's going to be able to play some things in Charge Call next turn, and maybe he will choose to get his 3/2 and his 3/3 as well, playing the spell damage minion right now. Probably not though.
Yeah, that's I think playing a little too deep into the AoE, but we will see. Right now, it's probably just going to be that Kurtrus, or I'm looking at Mac there, Don.
Yeah, it looks like Super Chicken is looking at it too, getting a 12-12 while getting rid of all this and healing for 9.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
Maybe that was a reason to play his Novice Zapper, but yeah. Seeing that Super Chicken needed exactly this out of his top 13 is too much to play around.
Yeah, can also throw in that Fel Barrage and a Hero Power. Get things juiced up a little bit. Could hold back the Fel Barrage, but 2 mana spent this turn, not too bad either. 4 damage. All right, holding on to it, Super Chicken says. Does have the Guild Trader in hand as well with the discount. All right, how much damage do we have on the other side just to deal with it? So we obviously have the Torrent, can go up to 9 here, plus the Perpetual Flame. Looks like the play.
Yeah, so we have the clear, and then also, if we want to spend a Lightning Bolt here, will put us just 1 away from Fleeting Quest.
Yeah, and I believe currently overloaded 2, yeah. So would be overloaded 3, so next turn we'll be at 8, so we can't quite play the other Lightning Bolt and the quest reward next turn, so maybe hold back on the double Lightning, so you can, yeah, because right now 2 mana crystals, I guess, yeah, there's no way you can play the reward next turn.
No, if you're going to have 6 mana crystals next turn, so you can Lightning Bolt plus reward.
Well, we're currently 2 overloaded already. If we play the Lightning Bolt, we're going to be 3 overloaded, right? And then we're at 8 mana, so you will be 1 mana short.
Right. Yes.
So opting to hold back, I think, because that is the case.
Kurtrus seems pretty clear as a play here. Yeah. Probably going to Illidari Studies as well. Maybe could have. No, just choosing instead to get as much damage out of Hero Power as soon as possible. Close out this game as soon as possible.
Yeah, I don't mind this. We have the Fury in hand, as well as that Guild Trader Fel Barrage. A lot of potential damage coming out next turn, so this will have to be dealt with.
Yeah, and I mean, Shaman obviously doesn't want to be doing this, but yeah, sort of have to put 2 removal spells into these minions. Because you have the board clear potential here, and if your opponent has it for your 2/3s from the Feral Spirit, then you might just be dead.
Yeah, tough spot here for Justin. I think deciding if that 7 attack, if we need to just remove it from the board, that's also threatening extra damage with the Hero Power, or if we can risk it and then play the Feral Spirit. Tough decision here for sure.
Yeah. Another thing to consider is that if your opponent's playing Kurtrus, they might also be playing expendable performers. And
no question there's combos in here. Yeah, no question the combos in here. So
have to avoid playing enough health for you to die as well.
Yeah, almost unavoidable here next turn with that Brucon. I think it's hard not to play. But if you can get big enough threats and taunts, what is our charge call currently at? We are at 10. So we are fully, we have the 10 cost. So if we are able to get the Brucon and the charge call down next turn, how much are we overloaded? We're overloaded 2, so unfortunately, not quite. Yeah. Would have been looking for some big taunts. But here is that guild trader plus Fel Barrage that we were talking about earlier, pushing quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, could have also used the Fury, but instead going to save it for just 1 more damage next turn, which is already lethal on board. But Earth Elemental, quite an interesting top deck for Justin.
Yeah, this might be a turn Justin just has to wait again to play this Brucon.
Unfortunately, if Justin plays Earth Elemental, then his Brucon is unplayable Or no, actually, sorry, it would be exactly playable. Just no other overload can be used.
Yeah, I think this is a situation for Justin where he's got to decide that they just don't have expendable because you can't play around it at this point. You have to just play around what they potentially have in their hand and what they have on the board. They only have 2 cards. They have to have exactly the combo. And if that's the case, I think you just gotta do the best you can here. That's a pretty good pickup. Does clear that off. You can play the Feral Spirits, and then just end it there, and hope that they don't find the combo or have anything like that. Fury gonna come out to get this Spectral Sight outcast. It's gonna come down to what we draw here. Talented Arcanist, Immolation, Aura. That is going to be it. That's 2 cards that end the game here. And there's that 6 AoE I was talking about earlier. It does get through. Only needed the 3, and that will be game 1, Super Chicken. So if you are one of the people out there hoping for more games, the timeline is starting to line up.
Now, how will the rebuttal come from Justin? He no longer has his Quest Shaman to maybe deal with the Warrior coming from Super Chicken. So maybe he could be bringing the Quest Hunter out here or the Control Warrior to beat out this Fel DH. From what I remember, one of the matchups that beat Fel DH back when it was originally conceived by Molestar was the Warrior, but not quite this Control Warrior as we see now.
Yeah, no, I'm curious if maybe there's something, we could just go that Charge Warrior, maybe can get there. Oh, wow, that was weird. I got like an ad while I was pulling me in. It was like an ad for the Mercs. That was really weird. All right. So it will be that Warrior, and it looks like it's Quest Warrior, actually. So going a little something spicy. Maybe had something in mind. Actually, I can't even remember how that lines up, and I haven't seen the matchup since this deck was refined, the Fel DH.
I think actually when Warrior was the one beating Fel DH, I think it was actually Quest Warrior. Just aggressive enough to get there early enough, but I don't think with the nerf that it will perform nearly as well.
Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be a matchup. It's gonna come down to that early tempo. I think for Justin right now, not the best. You really want one of those 2 drops if you can find it, but 2 pretty powerful 3 drops. Unfortunately, not on the coin.
Yeah, I don't think Cargo Guard is exactly what you're going to want here, actually.
No.
So that's a pretty easy maul, but the other, we can see Justin is deciding.
And there you go. Ends up with the Rust Rot. Not terrible, not great. Does let you trade it out, though, early. Another 3 drop. No weapon in hand yet.
Okay, so Ratchet Privateer means we're probably seeing the Hatchet version.
Yes, I would guess. A pretty standard start there for Super Chicken. And there's that Felfire Deadeye, so I think combo for sure. I think we also saw the Performers last game in the hand. Before that Glide. There you go. So does find the Deckhand. That's a nice pickup.
Crazy pickup. And nerfs matter here as well. It's been a long time since we've seen this 2-2. I mean 2-1. Sorry.
Yeah, that would have been a big difference there as a 2-2.
However, next turn we are probably going to see the other Bloodsail Deckhand drawing the Hatchet, playing the Ratchet Privateer, which is going to be a pretty big turn.
Yeah, really, really nice turn. Gonna need that early initiative here with that. Warglaze equipped, though, gonna remove a lot of that early game pressure. It might just come down to, the actual quest reward for this matchup.
Never mind.
Kind of putting on that pressure.
I think we're probably going to see the Rust Rot Viper coming down here, seeing a nice, juicy lifesteal weapon to kill. And yeah, I mean, Super Chicken has the inevitability here with the Fellfire plus the expendable performers, but seeing those two cards in hand way too early, game's probably going to be decided before then.
Yeah, now Justin just having that decision, like you said, the rust drop, pretty valuable to remove this weapon. Uh, but that privateer also pretty juicy. I mean, you're not going to get a better time to do it. It's another extra 4 damage.
I mean, you know, Rust Viper seems pretty good here because next turn you can always Ratchet Privateer plus the Fogsail Freebooter. But instead choosing to just get the damage with the Hatchet now.
Yeah, maybe hoping to get the Super Chicken to have a fully equipped War Blades for some reason, or just wait for the second one that might have a bigger effect on the matchup.
Yeah, and here getting all the lifesteal from the weapon is extremely huge for Chicken.
All right, I think we're just going to see 2 pirates coming down here now.
Yep,
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Push a little bit of extra damage. Have all of those buffs gone onto this restaurant? Yep. There you go.
And yet we're still probably going to see it traded away.
Oh, Restaurant on the other side, going to be able to remove 2 of these swings. Or just holding on to it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not really doing too much. Looking for maybe one of those spell damage minions to get the spell screen down.
But yeah, I mean, missing though here, I don't think there were really almost any hits in the deck. There were only the 2 there. So missing the...
Yeah, Guild Trader would have been too expensive, so...
Missing the 1 and 2 just means that Chicken just, instead of doing anything, does nothing. Don't like this.
Yeah, now considering the Magtheridon just saying, I have to win, I have to clear those off anyway. This is an extra 3 damage. If I find a way to clear it, then I can win the game. If I don't, then I probably lost anyway.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, that also gives an extra 3 damage to Justin here. Will he be able to capitalize on it? Probably not, though. Especially board locking himself with Harbor Scamp.
Yeah, and 1 away from the quest reward, too. This is definitely going to slow things down.
Oh, I think Mias would have been lethal if he could play it, but...
Still quite a lot of damage, and it's going to have to be an answer on this Magtheridon. And also playing around that Fell Scream by moving, or putting that Harbor Scamp in between the 3 Hellfire Warders. So a Fell Scream Blast won't do it. So yeah, that I think should just be it. There's no way to clear these consistently. I mean, yeah, I'm not seeing anything here.
As far as I can tell, we are, going to another game, and I think the answer here is probably going to be the Shaman. Or maybe the Control Warrior from Chicken.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, we could see another weird warrior. I didn't expect the quest from Justin, but worked out here. Definitely made sense with the DH around, and got the win that we were hoping for that lineup with Justin.
I think I'm just going to hedge my bets here. Chicken's going to bring one of his last 2 decks. There we go.
That's good. You nailed it.
And see that, just like I drew it up.
Just like you had drawn it up, one of the 2 remaining decks was chosen by Super Chicken. It is going to be that Shaman, and this looks to me like that Burn Shaman. So a little bit more standard of a lineup, I would say, from Super Chicken, kind of playing the good decks. Justin saying, I'm bringing some counters. Let's see if you can answer it with just plain old good stuff.
And here, actually, I think, once the warrior is gone, since there's no control warrior, this Burn Shaman might just clean it up here. we'll have to see how big the aggression is, because Burn Shaman doesn't have much on the side of healing, so if it can't deal with some of the early threats like the South Sea Captain, then we might see Justin instead just continuing to roll over Chicken.
Yeah, and I think it also comes down a lot to those freezes. If Super Chicken's able to find the freezes and stop the aggression before it's too far gone, there's really nothing in that deck normally that's going to answer those Snowfall Guardians. Landslide also really good pickup for Super Chicken. So
yeah, so Snowfall
pretty
Guardian.
standard.
Yeah, Macaw also to follow up the Snowfall Guardian. I think.
Wow.
I mean, the thing with the Warrior at least is that it does have a lot of alternative ways to deal damage. It's not just attacking with minions.
I'm here for the gold.
Yeah, Justin recognizing that it's going to have to be a quick win here. Really try to push down on the pedal before the Snowfall Guardians and the Macaws and stuff can just lock Justin out completely. At least from the minion aspect. And there's really no answer for the Guardian on the other side either, if it's a big Guardian. So going to have to play it sort of an interesting way. Right now, Justin, with I think two real options here in that Captain or the Freebooter. Freebooter would probably lean towards then that face trading into the Searing Totem.
Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of that. But the Captain is usually it's a little bit better one turn later because just because Chicken sort of has a wealth of 3 damage removal that the Captain lines up pretty well into, whereas this Freebooter does not.
Yeah, it looks like Justin is on that line as well, and we are going to see the face go into the 1/1, 2/2, go into the face, preserving the health on the board if possible. Looks like he's going to just be Lightning Bolt into the Landslide. So that's a Landslide gone on just the 2 minions. But we do have that Snowfall and the Brilliant Macaw to slow things down in just a little bit. Super Chicken on the other side. I think, we'll just play that Sword Eater and swing.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, once again, we see just enough pirates probably to complete the 2nd stage of the quest, and then don't know if we're going to actually get to that 3rd stage, though. It just seems how this deck is after the nerfs.
Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that is a big
huge.
hiccup.
Yeah, and after not having much to do on turn 4, Chicken has maybe the best card in his deck on turn 4.
All right, so, Shiver available at least to deal with that first one. Continue the face damage.
Yeah, send a lot of damage face here. It seems very good.
We're gonna need more gunpowder.
Yeah, and that's one of those minions that you were talking about that can apply pressure even through that Snowfall Guardian. Interesting choices here.
Probably going to see Blood Mage both because of its lower cost and because of its ability to draw a card. No.
Going for the Lady Bosch, contests the board a little bit better, and if you draw the Prime, that's going to draw you some cards as well. Yeah, I think it was always between those two. Second Shiver off the top.
But the Frostbite actually doing something in this matchup, which I didn't think was going to happen. Emo could choose to instead get the 2 cannon shots by playing into 2 pirates. Really has a big choice here.
Yeah, the 2 cannon shots is interesting. I think it usually doesn't clear anything, and it usually doesn't really deal that much pressure. So I'm leaning more towards the Shiver plus maybe that South Sea and just going face and kind of making the trade a little bit more awkward on the other side.
Yeah, you've also seen 2 3 damage removals from your opponent. Your opponent has only drawn a third of their deck. So probably are going to see a third one in just a second here, but at least we'll get the value trade.
Okay, so yeah, going for the value trade and the cannons going off here, like you said, could clear off a minion. Worst case, I guess would be half and half. Yeah.
There we are.
There you go, worst case. Although now it does trade into the 3-2, where before it would not have. So really, all the results were not too bad. Snowfall Guardian going to come down, though, for pretty big freeze, plus that 7/7 being quite a threat.
Yeah, here...
I mean, you could play everything.
I don't know how good that is. Not being able to clear off the 7/7 even with the removal. Yeah, we're slowing down maybe a bit too much.
Yeah, this is the threat for the deck for Justin. It's just, with that nerf, a little bit too slow, especially into a deck like this, with the freezes. Justin saying that was an error. I mean, it's the same amount of...
Missing one
attack.
I guess,
we're missing one attack, by not attacking for sure. Probably won't make too much of a difference. Going to hold on to that Shiver, though, and here comes the Macaw just to slow things down even more, applying that pressure to the other side as well. And Multicaster, we played 2? Nature and... Oh, no, we played 3. What was the... Oh.
It's Primordial Studies earlier.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play it, but then we won't be able to play the Shiver.
Yeah, we got a lot of damage on the other side. Not quite lethal on board. How much do we have? With if we double Serpentine and Lightning Bloom. Oh, there's the third Macaw to just freeze the board once. Oh no, there's a Multicaster. Yeah.
Ooh, there's Vosh Prime. Okay, we actually are going to maybe see it, and the other Snowfall. Okay, so if Chicken can just actually, I believe in this case, just stop a bit of the damage.
I mean, this must just be lethal, right?
Oh,
yeah. Otherwise, oh no, just the freeze. Okay, I was like, why would the attacking face is confusing me, but this makes a lot more sense with that Snowfall picked up, able to be played out. Not enough there, and no room on the board to play that minion or to get that minion. Unfortunately, can clear off that 7/5 Snowfall, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. Is going to get 5 armor here as well, so will live.
On board.
Yeah, not looking too great for the following turn. Oh, actually choosing to get the 3/3 taunt here, which doesn't do anything except for use 1 removal.
Yeah, how much damage do we have on the other side? We have 7 mana, so not quite enough here.
Yeah, in this case we only have the it looks like 22 damage, so not quite as much as the 24 life, but almost.
Yeah, just a little mana short or damage short.
Yeah, and here the Vosh Prime actually doesn't draw that much that we want to see here. It does draw Landslide, which is maybe what he's exactly looking for.
Yeah, and it will be picked up here. That's a nice pickup to push this damage. Gets the wind chill as well.
Okay, so big question: is Justin going to top deck Smite?
Yeah, is it going to be enough? It also depends on the weapon and the minion. But yeah, it's going to come down to a Smite top deck here. That is not the weapon that's going to do it. It does potentially protect you for a turn if you're able to clear off a little bit more here.
Okay, I mean,
I don't.
It's a little bit more clear, but I mean, you can kill the Vosh, and
what do we get?
I mean, that still probably doesn't end up doing it.
No.
Because you can swing the bulwark and hopefully kill both 3/2s.
You would have to kill both 3/2s, and we see all the burn in the hand. The burn just gets through the. Oh, that was close though. That was close. And Justin, recognizing without that will seal the deal. And Super Chicken with the burn shaman taking another one. Justin with just that hunter remaining.
And ironically, with that weapon, would not have even had enough damage with a smite top deck. So a bit yikes here, and Justin now having to reverse with. I'm guessing he's hoping for Quest Hunter to pull it out. I mean, otherwise Face Hunter has to get an absolute nut draw.
Yeah, no, Face Hunter would need a big. I mean, maybe Drekthar Face Hunter if it gets that Drekthar and enough pressure before turn 6, and if there's no ramp there on the Shaman side.
Although actually, a Quest Hunter is probably going to be a bit too slow into the Control Warrior anyways. It just has so much armor.
Yeah, you can play that matchup a little bit interestingly, though. I mean, you can try to wait for the 0-cost hero power for the minions. If you're running the hero, of course. So there's definitely matchups where you can win that control just by volume of stuff. I feel like, was it Gabby or someone that had it last week or something at the I don't remember who it was, but there was definitely a Quest Hunter that was running a lot of what's that card called? Lock and Load, like to get even more resources if you like that kind of stuff. You can certainly tech it for that. This does look like it is Quest Hunter. I don't know if it's tech that way or if it's more of that low to the ground one. But we could see if Justin's able to get a win here, we could see potentially that hero getting that 0-cost hero power and just on repeat, just animal companions every turn, full board, and that can beat the control. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if this is at least partially the secret version, running the ice trap here. Unclear whether it is the one that runs the Tavish hero card. That is that's only run in about. I wouldn't say it's very commonly run in the Quest Hunter decks nowadays.
Yeah, I mean it depends what you're trying to beat, and certainly if Justin was anticipating, he saw the warrior. Could have considered it. We shall see though. Might be more of that low to the ground one with those secrets, and so far definitely looking very secret heavy, though that doesn't rule out the Vandar.
Yeah, here
ferocious howl,
very helpful, and playing out some minions to deal damage into. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just wondering that as well, but suppose wanting the wind chills more than caring about the other side of things.
Yeah,
there's a lightning bloom.
Chicken just sort of has to develop his game, his win condition, even if it lets Justin do a little bit of the same, because eventually the hunter will get there.
Yeah, now with those wind chills obtained, the ice trap not seeming as exciting. Also, lightning bloom in the hand, of course, but. All right, so one wheel chill gonna come down. We may even see both here. Or do we just trade the Viper?
Playing Novice Zapper is...
Okay.
Really just, I guess, seeing that strength totem and thinking that he has to get some value off of it. Don't really agree, but...
Yeah, providing more minions to attack.
Yeah, if Justin can get a 1-cost deal damage off of this tracking, or even 2 cost, then we might see the 0-mana hero power clear off the spell damage.
This is a buffed hero power, so I think Justin definitely wanting to try to get that to connect face if possible, or at least get value off of the minion.
Okay.
4 damage.
Maybe just saying that the spell damage minion isn't going to attack face anyways, thinking that it's a explosive trap.
Yeah, and then freezing was played, so it won't be able to attack either way. So that will get frozen. That does give the spell damage minion back to Super Chicken, but at 3, tough to use for any combos.
And regardless, as you can see, it was incredible.
It was incredible. It was very incredible. I like that we're using some classic hero portraits tonight, too. There's a lot of hero portraits out there. I definitely tend to use some fun ones, but the classics are the classics. Dragon Maid shot, a really nice pickup.
Here we are going to see it connect face, thankfully.
Yeah, and it does look like getting that 0 cost, so not a priority for the Tavish in this matchup for sure, even if it is even in this deck we haven't seen yet. With the Furious Howl, I'm less keen on it being in there, but we will see. Let's see this tracking. Finding another Furious Howl bunker.
Dunbaldar Bunker is insane in the secret version, going to tutor 3 cards out of deck instead of just getting the single draw now.
Yeah, I might have seen too many of the secrets so far to think that it is worth, and with the Furious Howl in hand, maybe was hoping to be able to dump some stuff, not pull more things in the hand. Unfortunately, finding the other Furious Howl, meaning even best case scenario, the first one is going to draw 2.
Well, I mean, hey, at least the Dragon Maid shot is going to complete the quest here, hero powering the 3/4 before playing it. You won't be able to play quest reward, but just setting up that you have it at least.
Yeah, going to be able to set it up here. Can trade as well into the shot. Yeah, and that looks to be the case. And that will be the quest reward completed with the Dragonbane shot still in hand. So gets to keep another spell to play, and the coin still in hand as well this whole game. So another potential spell to play along with that Tavish.
Okay, and we're going to see Fukan coming out even after the Ice Trap increases the cost. It's still a bloom, and it's still going to give you mana.
Wow, going for the deal 6, I guess nothing else too appealing. And going for the evocation, the Earth evocation there.
You just have to end the game as fast as possible if you're chicken. Because now your opponent's going to get all the draw. We can already see the howls in hand.
You'll need to run faster than that.
These howls are actually really awkward with the current hand. I mean, we have multicaster as well. Like we're just going to be through the deck before we even need to play them at this rate. But right now, I think just deciding where these hero powers are going and what's swinging where, or if we're just waiting a turn to go even in deeper, there's no way to get the Dragonbane shot cycling. Maybe you want to multicaster or something.
I mean, we don't get to cycle the Dragon Maid shot, but we have so much value in hand right now with all this card draw.
Yeah.
We're going to find either another one or just more removal anyways.
Yeah, I guess the choice here is, do you use the coin? It looks like Justin says yes, let's just get that full clear here. Play the best around Guardian as well that way. Wind Chill we know is just going to come down, but at least we won't be facing a giant Guardian on the other side. I guess we were at 5 minutes, or no, we were at 6, so I could have seen the Guardian. But. Super Chicken saying, I need to end this now before this gets way too out of hand, able to push a little bit more damage. Gets 2 fantastic hero powers in a row for the situation.
Wow, this is looking pretty dire, actually, for Justin, because the deck doesn't have much healing. The 6 damage from that hero power is going to end the game pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is a sad Ferocious Howl for 1. Does recycle the hero power. There's just more draw. If Justin is worried about draw, we've got all of it, but because we've got all of it, it is counteracting some of it, and it's just, yeah, so Furious Howl just going to come down once again for just 1 to keep cycling this hero power. I don't blame Justin at all. I mean, we have plenty, of draw here as is, so never going to be able to get them for full value. Might as well just push the damage. Looks like not even going to clear off this 2-3. Saying the freezing trap's going to get rid of it anyway.
And thank goodness it is, because Justin needs all the help he can get here. Just getting through these minions and stopping all this extra damage. Yeah, just sending it face, just saying, you're dead so soon.
Yeah, getting the freeze off, even it looks like, yeah, never mind. Yeah, that makes no sense here. At 4, what is the hero power here? 4 Super Chicken.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 damage to minions is just a waiting room for another 6 damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now, Kodobane going to come down. Currently still alive, as far as we can tell, for Justin. Could survive 1 more turn. Going to need to really end things fast. This is going to help move things along a little bit, though.
Yeah, the only 3 cost spell in the deck does help you get quite a bit more damage here, but still looking like he's maybe 2 turns off, and that is 2 turns too many.
Yeah, I don't know. Could maybe get there in 1. I think it's possible. It's just going to come down to what this draw. There's the Frostbite. Ooh, that is. What are the spells?
Oh,
That's going to just do it. Oh, and there it goes.
Second Brilliant Macaw would have also been quite
Very
good.
likely, yeah. And that is going to do it. So Super Chicken taking the 3-1 over Justin. Not able to get there. And that is going to make this series 9-10, make a 5 seed, going up 9 to 9 points now, making it a really, really crucial final match here later tonight. So for everyone rooting for us to stay up late, you got your wish.
Yeah, keeping the dream alive for Make a 5 seed out of a molehole. If Make a 5 seed wins here, I think that is the 3rd upset that we've seen this Hero playoffs. After APM Yang took out Golden Wisps, already the top team in Hero, and an APM Yin actually took out the Unknown, which I believe was the 4th place team.
Hey, Super Chicken. Congrats on the win tonight, buddy.
Hey, thanks.
Huge series there, keeping your team in it here in the playoffs. Now coming down to our matchup later tonight, C-Mac into Wild 9. Before we get into that, though, tell me a little bit about that matchup there. Did you expect some of those decks from Justin? Certainly surprised to see the Quest Warrior did get a win through it, but you were able to kind of persevere there, and that Shaman just absolutely destroying after.
Yeah, I'd say the only deck I actually was expecting there was the Quest Hunter. That was when I was expecting. I was sort of expecting, like a Charge Warrior and probably just like a Burn Shaman as well. But I mean, Shaman felt like it was in a weird spot for both of us that series, because obviously pretty bad into Control Warrior. So it seems like Justin was kind of not expecting me to bring Burn Shaman myself.
Yeah, And in the case where you brought Control Warrior, having a Quest Shaman to have that eventual winning game plan seems like the right idea. Would you like to confirm whether that last deck there was the Control Warrior?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I knew Quest Shaman was like a possibility going in, but I don't feel like Warriors too bad into Quest Shaman right now, anyways. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about Balner Shaman because that kind of gives Warrior problems sometimes, like slow Warriors. But yeah, I mean, I had Burn Shaman and Fell Demon Hunter to deal with that, so I felt decent overall going into the match. I think like the time I felt the most worried was when my Demon Hunter lost to the Warrior, and then I didn't really have a deck that was like all that favored into Hunter, which is when I got a little worried. But yeah, I mean, Shaman just got there eventually.
Yeah, we actually see quite a lot of decks stalling out this series. What with your Demon Hunter stalling out and getting sort of just you having to use Glide very early, and the almost every single deck from Justin either getting too much draw or too little draw. Um, was there any deck where you felt you were most confident in its start here?
I mean, yeah, I felt pretty good about like running Demon Hunter first. I think Demon Hunter like it had it went off to a pretty good start in the first game against Quest Shaman. Kind of did what it was supposed to do. Um, yeah, I did. Yeah, the second game was pretty rough. Like as you mentioned, just kind of drew all my terrible cards. At the same time, yeah, I had like. Oh, I mean, I guess I did have the Deadeye Expendables combo just on like turn 4 with Meg and Jason hand, but yeah, I mean, yeah, so, I mean, I guess some sort of not the best draws from either side in most of the games. I mean, um, didn't really get like a super early cavern either game as the shaman, and then Justin was kind of looked like his hand was a little bit dead in the later turns with Quest Hunter there, having to play the double Furious Howl there for one card.
Yeah, not there was like all the draw there for Justin in the hand, so probably not going to ever get them to go off for more than one. So I ended up having to just rip it for those hero powers. Very very close final match there too with the health totals. Probably like one, maybe worst case 2 turns away for Justin there. But we were talking a little bit about you're saying that caverns. You mentioned not getting it too early. I think it really did have a big effect in the warrior matchup as well. So even though you didn't get it, turn 2, you were able to get it, I think like turn 4, and that made quite a big impact, I would say.
Yeah, blocking the weapon hits later on were pretty impactful. Because yeah, I mean, I wasn't directly in I mean, I would have been in Mr. Smite range with like the minion that got summoned off the Juggernaut. So yeah, I mean, it
Yeah, I think
definitely helped blocking some of those weapon attacks.
I think there was on the last turn, even with Smite, I think because the weapon was only one attack, it wouldn't have been enough either way. But really, really close series all around. Any sort of last thoughts here before we let you go? You have your teammate going to be playing a little bit later, so.
Yeah, C-Mac and I have a bit of a curse where if one of us wins in the week, the other one usually loses. So we have broken that curse in the past once or twice, but I'm gonna need some a bit of magic in order to break that curse again, I think.
I don't
Hey,
know.
well, playoffs is the best time for it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
C-Mac also has a curse where he wins one playoffs every season. So he already lost out in pro.
A curse. C-Mac got a curse where he wins one every season.
Yeah.
Terrible curse.
True. C-Mac, I mean, who else is going to be the sixth time aside from C-Mac?
Oof.
It can only be C-Mac.
Diamond, I guess it would be have participated in 5 before this, and it could be his 6th, but
Okay, I'll lose in pro so that C-Mac's the only sixth time.
Scams.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. Any last questions from anybody else here for Super Chicken?
All good. Congrats on your win, buddy, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. We got next up. We got Vino Spumoni and Ron Mexico.
Yeah, like you said, up next, Bino versus Ron, Legacy Series, Silver Conference this time. We're taking a break from the Hero Series for just a moment. We'll be right back to that after this match. But first, this match, Bino versus Ron. Currently, series is at 10-9, as we said earlier. So it's anybody's game here. Winner takes all. Big playoff match. Hot Zilch with Hearthstone Academy. This time, not here last hero standing. So a little bit different format here with Conquest. For Vino, Druid, Hunter, Shaman, and Warrior. And for Ron, Druid, Hunter, Rogue, and Shaman. So a lot of the same classes. Once again, Warrior for Vino and Rogue for Ron, but otherwise the same potential mirrors. Will we see the same decks, or will we see kind of both players going a different direction like we just saw? We saw, Justin and Chicken bringing universally different decks for both of their same classes. So,
I mean, my initial thought is this rogue going to always 100% of the time be a quest rogue, or is there the chance that there's a poison rogue on the other side here? I think with the Druid in particular, it's probably going to bully poison rogue maybe just a bit too much. Also, if decides to bring a face hunter, also just sort of forces out any poison rogue chances. But definitely. I mean, if Ron's already planning to ban Druid, could just be.
yeah, certainly a chance. Like you said, though, some potentially rough matchups there. I definitely lean towards the quest, but with these decks, but you never know. Could be a strategy there. Hunter, I wonder if we will see either player bring in that Drekthar list, or if it's going to be some more quests. And curious to see if the Druid makes it through. So far in this matchup, it has made it through quite a lot. The Shaman being the popular band for Hot Sylphs, it looks like, and Hearthstone Academy kind of doing something a little different for each match.
Yeah, getting some of these decks out of the way here is going to be just the ticket in a few moments here. I feel like Druid is just classically the ban. We saw that be the ban for both sides last match. Do you think any differently here?
Well, I don't have to think at all here, because we have the answers Saku provided very generously. Vino has banned Ron's Shaman, and Ron bans Vino's Warrior. So weird way to say that, but Ron's Shaman is banned, Vino's Warrior is banned. So not going to be seeing any Control Warrior or Quest. I mean, could have been Quest or something else. So no Warrior this time around. But Ron has left the group. Okay, that's fine.
I kicked him out so he doesn't hear us.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. We don't want to. Yeah. If we say something in chat while he's playing, for sure. And then for Ron, no Shaman. So Druid Hunter Rogue for Ron, and Druid Hunter Shaman on the other side. Oh, he's not going to see that. Oh wait, spoilers.
Okay. Yeah. So now, because of the Shaman ban, it's going to be in this case the Druid Hunter Shaman versus the Druid Hunter Rogue, and I don't know. I think just that. And I think it's going to be some similar brings here. maybe not going to see any of the ramp druid just because of the hunter on the other side. But then it's a 50-50. If it's the quest hunter bring from the opponent, then ramp druid is crazily good. If it's the face hunter, then ramp druid is crazily bad. So
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of mind games going on here, depending on what you expect the other player to bring. I think similarly with that rogue and the druid, like you said, could go those ramp druids, or maybe a beast druid could make an appearance, or taunt druid, something more aggressive. Let's see, are the players ready to hop in? Let's get in there.
I just let them go. So we're going to have Ron Mexico at the bottom of your screen, our first to spectate for our casters, and Vino Spumoni is going to be at the top of the screen.
yeah, I think they look ready to go, especially because Ron Mexico on my screen says away for 1 hour.
Very ready to go.
Yep.
It looks like we do have eyeballs, though, so jump in right in. Any predictions before you see what are going to be the first decks?
Oh god, Hunter. Oh, I was close. Dang.
Hunter Druid. I think you're just talking anime over there.
Hunter X Hunter. No, I mean I was predicting Ron to start off with Hunter. I mean he is by far the Hunter main.
Yeah, and it does look like we are going with a quest hunter here. So once again, going to see that quest list. We'll see if it is going to be with those secrets or not. And Vino on the other side, looking to be Beast Druid or some form of aggressive Druid, could still be Taunt as well.
Yeah, I think. I think in this case Ron just happens to win the 50-50 here, because Quest Hunter is going to find just a lot of removal. Oh, that's a fantastic.
Pretty good. That's a hand. Oh, and running the Bloodseeker. So this is that more aggressive list.
The composting, though, is going to be quite good from Vino here if he can get any amount of a board to stick, and I don't think he will.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Might go for the double 1-drop here just to hope for something to stick, knowing the type of answers that Ron might have. So might see that 1-3 along with the 2-1. Nope, going to hold on to the 2-1.
I think, if anything, wow, he lets it stay on the board is quite interesting here. I would have thought that instead of the 2-1 being played, the Adorable Infestation to make it just a little bit less clearable.
Yeah. Well, now the Squirrel and the Infestation can be played.
No, we're going to see Composting instead. Just saying that he's going to get some value out of these minions, whether you like it or not, Ron.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Especially with that second composting available and no other minions to buff besides the 1/1 that you would get off of it.
In this case, unfortunately, it is going to all get cleared off here. And I think most everything is going to get cleared off for quite a while.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Vino to get back on the board. Does have some pretty powerful tools, but is going to need to find some beasts and other ways to build that big board with the Oracle, get the discounts. Right now, Sentry's not a bad option. Trog also picked up. You did just see a decent amount of removal come down.
Yeah,
obviously the deck is heavy on removal, but
yeah, and the hero power already also kills it. So still choosing to play it.
Yeah, I mean, still a target could Adorable Infestation to play around that, but then the minions just clear it anyway. So really just trying to get the board going even just a little bit here for Vino. Ron finding some nice answers, though. This is a very good pickup with that Dragonbane shot. Gonna just be able to clear this up, make the hero power down to 0, keep the 1/1s. That was quite a pickup there for Ron.
Okay, we can go to game 2.
Yeah, let's move on.
So Hunter is getting through, and I just wonder, is the Druid from Ron going to be the ramp Druid now for seeing a later game Quest Hunter?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't be too surprised. Heart of the Wild being hovered here.
I mean, hey, buffs your beast, but it doesn't.
Sure. Does get this. Oh, guess the way. Yeah, I mean, Arbor Up's nice, but currently probably not going to do too much.
Yeah.
But with the double discount from the studies, I mean, could get something going next turn. Will be 3 costs, and then how much mana are we going to be at next turn? 5, so not quite enough to be able to play that along with the Oracle and the Vibrant Squirrel.
Might just take the Guess the Weight here. Oh, no, okay. Well, taking the middle option instead. Thought that the Vibrant Squirrel was going to be saved for the Oracle Balloon, just to make as any board at any point, please.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting much of a board going here for Vino and Ron with the bunker. So this does look like it's going to be more of that the secret list we were talking about and we saw earlier. Multicaster also picked up, so definitely want to find some of those secrets for the multicaster. And curious how...
I don't agree with it being played here, but...
Yeah, hovered here just saying I'm not going to get value off of this either. Might as well... I don't know about that one.
Oh, get a card out of your deck.
Yeah.
It's a use of your mana that isn't wasting a Dragonbane shot, so...
Yeah, sure. And Dragonbane shot, super, super powerful in this matchup. And there's Explosive, so that will juice the multicaster as well.
Ooh, okay, Oracle Balloon plus the Umbral Owl is one of the power plays. Especially if we Adorable Infestation the Oracle Balloon, we're going to just absolutely go crazy here.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think we have to go in. You can actually combo that with that composting, I believe, right? Well, it'll be at 2, so you can you can't get the 1/1 down, but you can play the composting with the owl. You have plenty of minions.
Yeah, clear off your entire opponent's board. Make 4 minions that draw you a card when they die. I think this is what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, so still a chance here for Vino. That is the second composting, though, so this is going to be the last of the big draw, though 4 draw is plenty. On the other side, Cotobane picked up, going to be a lot of draw as well. Explosive, not quite enough to clear these off.
Yes, I'm going to have to really decide here on whether he wants to kill off the Oracle Balloon with his face and the hero power, or whether he wants to kill off one of these Umbral Owls and start, reducing some of the damage he's taking.
Yeah, I think I lean towards the Oracle. I mean, there's too big of a threat if you leave it up.
Yeah. Although this Heart of the Wild is going to possibly punish that a second.
Yes. Certainly going to be a lot of potential damage on the other side there. Although that would be bad either way. They could still get the Marshall Cub out if you clear off one of these, or both. And then Heart of the Wild that as well. Explosive going to come down with the multicaster, looking for maybe a cleaner answer to one of these.
Draws 1 because hasn't played either the Frost sequence.
Yeah. And there they both are.
Okay, this is going to be a huge Heart of the Wild if he wants to go for it here.
You go for the trade for it, see what else you get. Yeah, this could just be an all-in turn here. I guess attack first with the 1/1 to play around that explosive.
Could have the 1/1 survive if you direct the Heart of the Wild onto it, but
Sure.
Then that means you're probably going to be playing out a lot more of your board into the explosive. So
Then you're taking 2 damage on a lot of other minions. Yeah. Oh, and that is the pickup. With the Oracle now, really can just go in, play both of these 0-cost beasts and the Heart of the Wild. That is going to be a tough board to deal with here for Ron, and that might be the game. We were talking earlier that the game was over. Well, Not quite. Always a chance with this list, especially with that kind of draw. Finding the Oracle just in time. All of the zero-cost beasts as well. Well, not all, missing just that last matriarch, but pretty good for the top 8 cards of your deck, I would say. Or I guess not top 8. We played 1 squirrel, right? So there's 3. So top 11 cards.
Yes, played a squirrel and yet still looks like he has 2 squirrels in deck. That's very weird. Oh no, he has 8 acorns. So he still has.
Oh yeah, so okay, so a little bit further in the deck. So we played both squirrels. Okay. I don't have my deck tracker. I'm remote today.
Yes. Luckily I am prepared, but it's still, I don't know. The deck tracker looks like it's bugging out just a little bit, which is weird. But in this case, I don't think that this is going to end very well here for Ron.
Yeah, I don't know the answer here. Not enough mana to get the freezing and both of these shots down to clear. Like there's just not. I don't see it out here for Ron. Freezing Trap would have to. I don't know. I think that's it. There's not. Would have to be a bluff, I guess, for explosive and freezing, and say like.
Unfortunately, though, because of the feral rage, it doesn't matter.
Yep, doesn't matter either way. Power of the Wild makes it matter even less.
Yeah, he's Power of the Wild and just play Power of the Wild right back again to finalize this game.
Well, that's going to be all she wrote, and Ron takes the loss to start. Vino with the Beast Druid win. I mean, we cursed Ron. We said, "Oh, here we go. Yeah, game's over. Let's move on."
I seem to always cast or curse people by saying that the game is over. It always just happens to flip around for whatever reason. But that was a pretty easy series of draws by Vino.
Yeah, no question. But very well played there from both. Unfortunately, Ron unable to get that win. And I think before we hopped on, Ron was saying, I think because Dollar Bills wasn't casting, because he's been on the streak when we were casting him, me and Bills, and he was a little upset that Bills wasn't going to be here on stream because he's like, oh dang, now my streak's over. So it could be the case, Ron, but we'll have to wait and see. Still plenty of time. Going to stick with that Hunter, and Vino going on to that Shaman. Looks like Burn Shaman to me.
Yep. Yeah, seeing all the classic Burn Shaman tools here. I mean, we saw this matchup go pretty well for the Burn Shaman last time, but that was with a pretty good opening, and it's not looking quite as good for Vino.
Lady Vosh, going to be the pickup. Nice turn 2 play.
Ooh, and thank you, Saku, for sharing some of the player cams here.
You got it. I forgot to load that up for you guys to get to see the reaction of the players, just like our viewers do.
I'm sure we missed a lot of animated Justin faces last time, but in this case, calm, cool, and collected from these players.
Ron, stoic. Both just thinking Vino as well. The hands on the faces.
Yeah. Who's the best doing the best funeral director simulator guy? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta support Vino with that Flyers gear on as another Philly guy. Gotta support it. So Lady Bosch just gonna come down from Vino. Not the cleanest answers this time around for Ron. Quick shot will do it.
Yeah, going from no answer to just one of
the answer.
Yeah.
For Ron, no indication that any care or worry at all just all good. This always happens. This is how we play.
This is according to plan so far.
All according to plan. Vino, interesting decision here. Hovering that Primordial, maybe looking for another Lady Bosch. Something to play here.
Wow,
Does find another Lady Bosch or the Phoenix to try to get something going. Not too much burn in the hand right now to set that up anytime soon.
Oh, wow. I keep getting surprised by Vino's picks here. Phoenix seems maybe just a bit too slow, but maybe we'll see him set up for a very good turn later.
Yeah, I think that landslide is a big indicator that we're probably going to see multicaster next turn. Have now played a nature spell along with the arcane spell, so 2 draws maybe finds you a way to start setting something up with this Phoenix. There's Vosh Prime.
That's very good with the Macaw in hand. Maybe this Phoenix is actually going to be much better than I thought.
Yeah, pretty loaded hand now though, with the Vosh potentially being the play next turn.
Yeah, I think just coining out Vosh is going to be the ticket here, especially with both Macaws already.
Yeah, pretty good for Vino. Going to be able to draw the rest of the deck and have it cost nothing.
So,
on the other side, Ron just setting some things up. Does have the ice trap available, so the coin Vosh won't quite get it done. Might just bloom it.
This case, I think it's good to use all of it. Maybe just bloom and coin with the Vosh, because you can Vosh plus another Macaw here, and
just get the rest of your deck.
Yeah, and play a bunch of stuff and play the overdraft to not have any overload problems for next turn.
Yeah, it seems pretty good. Would have to find the overdraft, but certainly with all that draw, there's a pretty high likelihood.
Yeah, I don't think
gonna have to get moving though. Yeah, with this kind of time limit.
What is? I don't know what's happening.
All right, Dino, gotta move fast.
Okay, we're going.
Gotta move fast.
And we're.
Oh,
okay,
end of the turn, perfect time. Okay. Does get the wind chill off. No, does not get the wind chill off. And none of the spells played at 9 cards, though, so not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't find overdraft with these. Could have maybe gone up with another 3 draw off the Macaw, but that's okay. We'll just do it next turn. Save it for next game.
Yeah, save it for next game. All right, Ron just continuing to progress. Gonna get that 0-cost hero power this turn if we want it. Ice Trap being hovered.
Yeah, I mean, just it's a bit unfortunate you saw your opponent get a bunch of 0-cost spells, but I think the copies that they get back won't be 0-cost anymore. Will be even higher than before. So Ice Trap very good here.
All right, so going to just rip that Wind Chill, probably the best card to use that Ice Trap on, or to trigger that Ice Trap on. Phoenix going to come down.
Okay, Phoenix, Wind Chill. Just get rid of this overload here and have a big turn next turn. Seems good.
Yeah, starting to find some pieces here to deal that damage, and with the double Macaw in hand as well, going to be able to draw the rest of the burn, I think, in a couple of turns when that Phoenix does rise.
Okay, trapping the explosive trap in Ron's hand right now. but not attacking face. Seems good.
Yeah, and also crucially not triggering the quest line as well to progress it. If that was triggered, would have seen the Tavish being able to be played this turn. Now we're 1 mana short of being able to play it. So Ron just saying whatever. I'm just going to get it in my hand. If you have Mutanus, power to you. Well played.
And I don't think we're going to be seeing that. Instead, I think
No.
we're going to be seeing some brilliant macaws.
Yeah, the smartest macaws I've ever seen.
Oh, that is not a very good pickup.
Quite a lot of stuff in the hand, so you're going to have to dump a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely going to have to waste some.
Tough turn. I mean, yeah, you kind of want to save all of the spell damage minions if you can as well.
Well, is there the potential for lethal this turn? Maybe, actually.
From 30, it's tough.
I mean, it's tough.
You'd have to get the right stuff off of both macaws, yeah. So
you're drawing almost all of your burn that's in your deck here.
Yeah, it looks like
now no longer again.
Yeah, so Vino just saying, I really just want to draw my whole deck next turn. I'm going to wait. I'm going to play my spell damage minions, then play my macaw, play some spells once I've gotten stuff out of my hand. I like this play. It's going to come down to this turn, though. Ron able to push quite a lot, but it's gonna, it's gonna be, can Vino deal 30 this turn? We'll see. Those macaws might be able to do it. So double Zapper going to come down.
Yeah, in this case, actually, the Zappers don't really increase your clock after the first one. So yeah, only playing one Zapper good. Because each spell is going to deal 6 damage already.
Sure. Yeah.
Getting it to 7 still means you need 5.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just need to clear up the hand a little bit for the second macaw. Yeah, so Servant Shrine plus Frostbite overdraft. Yeah, so second macaw comes down. And there is Lightning Bolt, another overdraft, and yeah, that's going to be plenty. And what play by Vino, the Vosh, just huge there with those macaws, able to just hold on, wait, very very patient there to get the right battle cry off of those macaws, and yeah, I mean, really really well done there from Vino. Taking a deep breath. That was, well done, well done. Okay, so Ron just stuck here now with this quest center, not able to get through. Burn Shaman does get through.
The last deck from Vino here is going to be this Hunter. So is Ron's list going to get all sweep past this Hunter from Vino?
Yeah, and Ron says, okay, Hunter versus Hunter first. And it looks to be that a Face Hunter versus this Quest Hunter, so going to come down to it. I think this one's always very close. I don't know that it's favored one way or two particularly.
I mean, it really depends on the draws. And Cult Neophyte can be pretty huge on one of these turns. Yeah, in this case, seeing the ramming mount maybe without, like, if we see a oh man, why am I forgetting the scourge of the meta, the Trog? If we see an early one of those against this Quest Hunter, it might be all sheep out soon.
Yeah, so far no Trog, but like you said, that Neophyte could be big. Double Trampling Rhino in the hand, not what Vino wants to be seeing though. Not too many minions to be rushing into for Ron, and not getting the buff on them does mean actually 3 of the beasts that you're really looking for potentially in the hand. So those what's it called? The Wrangler is going to be pretty dead in this matchup.
Yeah, in this case, Halt Neophyte not going to actually do all that much. I mean, stops him from playing 2 spells this turn, but yeah, I mean, Dragon Main Shot is still probably going to be good enough, yeah.
Yeah, can't complain with that. And the bunker just doing its work here, cycling those secrets out of the deck as well. Super, super nice with this deck. Would rather not top deck them. Nice to get them also for cheap.
In this case, maybe predicting the explosive trap coming down soon. Or, yeah, just the Dragonbane Shot doesn't want to let him cycle it multiple times. So opts, instead of getting more damage here, to just get a 3 health minion.
Yeah, we do see the explosive in hand, though, which is going to be pretty tough. Could also play a Wound Prey into Dragonbane on the 3/3 and play that 1-cost explosive, getting more procs, and still getting that Dragonbane cycling. But instead, Ron's saying, I'm just going to...
Very slow, but...
Going to be real slow. Playing it in the order, though, that you want to play it in this case.
Okay, deciding to try and play around the ice trap. In this case, actually, could have played around it just by playing Doggy Biscuit first and then coining out Doggy Biscuit again. But no ice trap from the opponent just means it's going to be you know exactly what secrets are on the opponent's side here.
Yeah, you should have at least a pretty good guess, being those 3 secrets, the predominant choices. Although I've seen some people also running, what's it called? The one that copies the minion. Someone's a 3/3 copy.
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about because it's terrible. But yeah,
well, it's not being, it's not. I don't think it's being played here, but I have seen some people running one of those as well. All right, so Rhino just going to come down. Yeah, this is sort of why in my head I was looking at the other play. This will still be fine, but there was the play with the Wound Prey and that cheap explosive and the Dragonbane Shot just to get 2 more procs there. Now instead, going to have to, I guess you still get the cheap hero power here pretty easily.
Yep. And
but
to clear everything off with the Dragonbane Shot, attacking him with a 1/1 pretty easily, or some other options.
Yeah, I think the 1/1's definitely going in with probably the hero power Dragonbane Shot, then I guess Ice Trap or tracking first. I don't know. That's the...
Could even choose to explosive after hero powering and trading in. I mean, only punishes a Doggy Biscuit, and there's no way your opponent has one of the... Oh, yeah.
All right, so Vino could just play that Rhino once again. Now with the weapon. Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that this is.
You were about to say this game's over. I can feel it at the tip of your tongue.
I want to see more games here, so I want to see Ron bring more decks to the table here.
I'd have to agree with you, but I'm again. You saying it has made me a little suspicious of this game here. Another Doggy Biscuit off the top is not adding too much fuel to Venus Demoni.
Yeah, so is Venus Demoni's Hope going to be just a huge little minion there? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite going to be it. And there is that card I was talking about. Does still have 1 target left, so not totally dead. But if all goes according to plan, Vino's going to top deck that Volpertinger.
I wouldn't say there's
right
only
before.
1 target. there were some base hunter lists that ran Moonfang a while ago,
Sure,
so
sure.
could have it, but
Could, yeah, sure. There could be a chance. Okay, did not find that Volpertinger. So if there's no Moonfang, there's still one target. Gonna go with the Kodobane though instead to start. Draw through those cards.
and there's where the decision to trade away the 3-cost biscuit comes back to bite him just a little bit.
Not quite enough damage to clear the 7/7 here.
Oh,
Just gonna go to the face and hope that you're alive here.
And you can see that you are not.
Yeah, we can see, certainly. And that is going to be a win for Ron. You did not speak too soon this time around. The game is over.
I did not speak
Vino
at all for some
taking... Right. So Quest Hunter getting the win. Now we can see what Ron has brought, what else Ron has brought to the table here. Going to have to beat that Face Hunter. So Ramp Druid, definitely not something that Ron, I hope Ron didn't bring with what's remaining, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and then the other deck from Ron being the Rogue here.
Yeah, Quest Rogue not great. Poison Rogue not great. I guess Quest Rogue's the one you want though, if you were to choose.
Yeah, definitely the lesser of two evils there. And no, we see this Druid.
And it looks to be Beast just Beast Druid here.
That is pretty good into Face Hunter. So if we can see a fairly good rollout of cards from Ron, then it's looking like the game will continue.
Yeah, pretty good start there for Vino, having those minions to contest those 1 health like Vibrant Squirrels, but the 1/2s being pretty nice as well. On the other side, we do have the Doggy Biscuit available. Actually, quite a few potential options here.
Ooh,
for Vino.
See the Trog and that getting
and the Infestation. Here.
Yeah, because there's not many options for 2 mana for the Beast Druid, and in this case we can see it's mainly just spells there or just the Squirrel.
Yeah, not too many options to answer, but it looks like Vino helping the Doggy Biscuit. Just trying to fight for the board as much as possible early, holding on to that Trog for a later point. And Vibrant Squirrel plus Adorable can come down here.
Yeah. We'll see how Vino wants to roll this out. Another Wolpertinger. Drawing all the beasts early again this game. So maybe going to give him a problem later with the Warsong Wranglers, but we'll see.
Yeah, so just going to go continue playing that board game. Try to win the board as much as possible. Trog available on the other side now. Could combo that with a Power of the Wild.
And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Choosing to instead get the +1/+1s just to get a valuable trade here.
Yeah, it keeps your Trog alive. I don't mind it. They don't have the way to deal with the Trog too easily. Vino does have minions on the other side to fight for this board, though.
Yeah, in this case, the Cult Neophyte maybe coming down just a turn before. It's the most valuable it can be, turning off Arbor up. But yeah, actually, not as bad as you maybe think. Okay, yeah, Piercing Shot can be a very good pickup though.
Yeah, really nice pickup, able to preserve the minions a little bit better and get the Adorable Infestation out. That was a really, really nice pickup for Vino. Okay. Nature Studies finding a second Arbor up. I think that's the take, and you just play the first one here.
I don't know. You might need some gas here from one of the other two spells. He's got a lot of the power, but not much of the board.
Yeah, I mean, Arbor Up helps a little bit with the board issue too. And if you have two, you can kind of make them think a little. So I do like this play. And next turn you have the Cub into the second Arbor Up. Pretty good result. And yeah, unfortunately, no way to buff those Bolt Pretenders. That would have been nice if we still had one in the deck.
Yeah, but getting a lot of damage here. Going face. I'm going to make Ron maybe
Trog Arbor Up.
Unstealthing. Oh, Trog too. I don't know about that.
Yeah, with the Arbor Up though, you're putting everything up to 3 health. So
well,
it's not terrible.
You can trade.
Yeah, you got to trade. Yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting spot. How much damage does Vino have next turn? We have the just 6 damage on board, hero power plus the Rhino. Potentially, I guess it depends what the Rhino damage does or how much damage the Rhino pushes.
Looks like he's 1 off lethal, except for that trade now. Wow. Okay, so if Ron can clear off enough here, then he can actually potentially find the lethal with that quick shot the next turn. So, really just has to stay alive first.
Yeah, for Vino, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the cleanest plays here though for Vino.
I saw Hunter, thought it was wrong.
Just assumed. I think it will be that Rhino. We might have to see the quick shot though, just to survive. It depends. It looks like with that trade though. I mean, you're just dead on board right now. You have to clear off more. So is it triple trade and quick shot to clear? A 4-3? Does not seem like a winning line, but
yeah.
Right now, I mean,
6-4 and then triple trade, but
yeah, you're still dead to the board here unless you quick shot the 3-3. So
yikes, yeah. Now Vino has to top deck a second quick shot probably.
But what are we looking at damage wise? We have 14, 15, 16, 17. We have lethal with just the Power of the Wild here for Ron, right? It's +3, and then the hero power will do it. So that is the game going to Ron. It is going into game 5 here.
Yes, I know that we're desynced a little bit from you, chat, but I want to see those game 5s come out right now.
Yeah, we'll see it here in a little bit. Pack Tactics. Thank you, KSW, from earlier. I just saw that. Pack Tactics is the name of that card. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
That's right, okay. It's going to be a bit longer here as we get into the Rogue, whatever that one is from Ron.
Yeah, this is going to be the real test one, and it looks to be Poison Rogue.
Oof.
I mean, it can happen. If you get the weapon early and you just deal the face damage early, like you can definitely win this with the Poison Rogue with the right hand. So
yeah,
it just comes down to
playing the SI7 infiltrators. So that is going to be able to deal. Sorry, the 1-mana deal 3.
Extortion.
Able to clear off some of the early threats here, hopefully. Look, KSW can correct you. You can correct me. We just need Saku. Please mispronounce a name here so that I can get something.
What am I doing? Where? Who?
Oh, that's a big pickup. That Cloak of Shadows can definitely come into play. If you get that big weapon and start pushing the damage, those cloaks can save you just long enough. Those taunts, a big deal that later on, and even now, getting that 3 could be pretty crucial here, even if we find the weapon. No weapon yet.
Yeah, no weapon is pretty bad, but might see coin into Secret Passage next turn just to try and find that weapon. In which case, wouldn't mind seeing the attack in. would set up the 2-attack weapon killing the 3/2.
Yeah, it also, worst case you find, I guess you have both paralytic poisons in hand, though. It's a little bit less ideal. Now just putting on the pressure here for Vino. Has the other Demon Companion available as well, which could potentially be a lot of damage. There's Deadly Poison, though, can help push through this. Or we're just going to double Paralytic. And yeah, I mean, once you get later in the game, the Paralytic poison doesn't matter because you're not trading.
Well, sometimes you trading can lead to you living one more turn. Although, getting
oh boy, second taunt though, gonna be quite annoying here for Ron.
And especially to taunt with the Divine Shield on it.
Yeah.
I don't think that Scabs is getting played, unfortunately. Just so much pressure coming out from this Face Hunter trying to end the game way before that.
Yeah, do have Cloak, though, so we have a chance. Maybe we find the other Cloak, next turn. And I mean, we're still kind of a turn behind, even with the coin. So going to have to survive long enough. But with the potential second Cloak, it could be doable. Could be doable. Next turn Cloak, turn 6 Cloak, coin, Shadowcrafter Scabs on 7 is the dream, I suppose. And even if you don't draw, you can Cloak, and then next turn you can Secret Passage Cloak, or you can go for the Secret Passage Cloak this turn.
Ooh, Open the Cages would be very, very good here. That's just basically a free Animal Companion, as your opponent is not going to clear this board.
Yeah, we'll see what we get here for Ron. Yeah, going to be the Secret Passage to start, I think, saying I need to find the other Cloak at some point. Maybe go for it this turn. I could find other options. I'm not necessarily dead on board. So maybe I can wait one more turn to Cloak. But it looks like we are just going to Cloak this turn. And just... were we not?
We're playing around the Ice Trap.
Okay, yeah. I was just saying, are we not attacking then if we're buffing the weapon before we Cloak? But it looks like Ron's saying, no, it doesn't matter. I have the game plan. I need the passage into Cloak here, and then the coin Shadowcrafter to follow that up. So I guess you can Cutlass first, trade the Cutlass first, prep. Unfortunately not going to do much with the discount going there.
You can still prep coin concede, but that's going to be maybe a next turn prospect.
Okay, can we find the Cloak? It's going to come down to the Cloak still has Secret Passage, the second one here, to find the Cloak. Can we find the Cloak? Here we go. Cloak, big Cloak, big Cloak. One more Cloak, and no Cloak. Well...
Cloak.
Cloak into the discount. That's not going to do it.
Okay.
Gonna have to Wicked Stab a 4/2, I think. I guess Swindle first. Maybe you find SI.
Opponent is 1 damage off lethal if you kill that 4/2. Oh, and don't mentally give up. Don't. Oh, I think Ron's mentally giving up.
Ron's saying they got 1 damage. One way or another, and even if they don't, I am too far away. I guess, I mean, we had the coin Scabs next turn, right? So we would have healed a little bit. Okay, I mean...
You get to watch all these animations first.
I get it. A lot of animations. Ron saying, good game. Vino gonna be able to find the win here, and that is gonna seal it, getting us all the way to Game 5. What a series, but Vino ends up taking it. And what a series to end it on. For Hot Zilfs and Hearthstone Academy. Wow. Wait, that's a tie. How does that work, right? Because now it would be 12 to 12.
Yeah.
So who won? I guess
it's just number of matches won on the week, and in this case,
HSA
the team just got their 3rd match win to the 2 from HSA. So Hot Zilfs are going to make it through.
Wow. Close as it gets. Hearthstone Academy, Hot Zilfs, 2 teams that have been around for quite a while, duking it out here in the playoffs. A really kind of storied storied teams, and what a result we had.
Yeah.
Ron's gone. Ron's had enough. He's not on camera anymore. That's fair.
Ron's gone, so
Not
we're
even
gonna
in
have
our
Vino
chat
in here.
anymore.
Yep.
All right, let's get Vino.
Yeah. In this case, two very storied teams. Hot Sylphs, the champions of 2 seasons ago, and then
Hello.
Congrats, buddy, on the win.
Thank you.
Wow, and repping the Flyers at the same time. Gotta appreciate it.
That was just for you.
I
promise.
appreciate it. But wow, really, really well done there. Some cool lines we saw, especially I enjoyed the Shaman game there. Holding on, obviously getting the Vosh early and holding on to those macaws to get all the draws and that OTK. We were talking about that second Primordial, and we're like, I'm not sure you're going to have enough damage, but then you found that Vosh, and it was just lights out from there.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my gosh, like I have it on 6 and literally haven't played another Battle Cry. I'm just like, that's the play. I'm like, that's the only way I'm gonna beat Quest Hunter with Burn Shaman, because that's usually unfavored. That was wild.
Yeah. And speaking of unfavored, looking at how it rolled out for you the previous game against the Quest Hunter, with that Beast Druid, you seemed pretty down and out at the beginning. How did you keep that mentally
Oh,
together?
yeah.
Oh yeah, jeez. I know. I remember the game, like I had to have composting at 1 in case I drew Owl, because that cost 1. I don't know how I knew. I was literally counting everything. I was like, trying to be so careful because it was really important game, and I drew it, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I could buff that, I could play the Owl, and I could play composting, and that just drew me every piece I needed to have a big board that wouldn't die to explosive trap.
And indeed, it did. Yeah, getting the early composting to draw you into just the perfect cards for the next composting.
Yeah, and having those 2 compostings early, having that recognition. I think the first one you got for like 2 minions early. There was we were having a little bit of a debate on that turn about the composting or playing a couple more minions and hoping that something sticks versus both minions get cleared but you get 2 draws kind of situation. And ended up with that second composting in the hand. Made a lot of sense, and you were able to get the big swing there. Another thing I wanted to bring up a little bit was that the hunter for you. I mean, you had some sort of affinity for those beasts, but I feel like you had almost all the beasts, all those games, and not able to get really any significant draws off of those Wranglers. Not that it ended up mattering that second game, but really the first game felt a little awkward.
You know what? Honestly, too, like well, first of all, like Ron is insanely good. This is the only time I've ever been able to beat him in THL. He's beaten me every other time I played him. So, really well played. I was really set on him targeting Warrior and bringing Weapon Rogue and doing all that stuff, and he banned Warrior, so that threw me off. And I was just like, oh, here we go. Like I'm gonna get like something crazy with the Rogue, like a Rot Rogue or something, and it's just gonna destroy my Hunter. I'm gonna get reverse swept. But luckily enough, like I really had the cards in that last game. I had everything I needed. I was very happy with that.
I actually want to bring it back to your first 2 games, which I think were very well played. I think you actually, when you discovered, you picked maybe the perfect option every single time. It seemed to roll out that way, at least. What were some of your decision making going into choosing the buff all beasts,
Yeah.
or even the choosing exactly those spell damage minions?
Yeah, it's just I forget what it's called, the 3 mana buff all the beasts. It just seemed really good into explosive trap, and he was playing the secrets. Yeah, I think he had, what is it, Dunbar, the 2-drop spell on each game, and so I was just trying to get any buffs I could. And I think one of the options was Arbor Up. I don't think I picked Arbor Up, but I was just like, maybe this is better. It's cheaper too. Plus, if it gets ice traps, like I'd rather have this. So luckily enough, it worked out.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Congratulations. Huge win for your team. Really well played.
Thank
And
you.
really enjoyed watching that series. So hoping to see some more next week. I think this was, you can thank also Bills maybe for not being here this week. I think this was Ron's first loss on stream this season, when it was me
Really?
and, at least on Sunday Showdown, when I've casted his matches with Bills, but Bills couldn't make it today. And Ron, I think, was upset, saying that we were going to ruin his streak. And, we did. Or you did, more accurately, but we can take the credit as well.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Hey, really well played by Ron, and shout out to all of them. They all played great, throughout this season. Ron especially, handed it to me a couple weeks ago in Legacy, so really, really well played to them.
And maybe final question from me here. Is there any of one of the 4 bye teams that you especially want to go up against? Since it's sort of based off of how many points you end up with in comparison to the other guys.
I'd have to go back and check, but I mean, everyone in THL is so skilled at the game and has just, you're never like, I'd rather face this person, because when you think like that, you'll get humbled real quick, So whatever it is, I'll just, play my game and hopefully it works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And best of luck in that next week, unless it's against my team, and then I hope you lose.
Okay, fair enough.
Words of encouragement from a fellow Philadelphian? Is that it? Is that the word?
That's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Vino. Take care, buddy.
All right, take care.
Good guy.
Yeah, good guy for sure. Both of them. All right, so what a series we had, but we have one final game we were mentioning earlier with that series at Diamond versus make a 5 seed out of a Mulhall. It is that final match that is going to determine the series here for both of these teams and the playoff run here. It is going to be Wild 9 versus CMAC, and we already have the bands as well. Thank you, Saku. It is going to be for Wild 9, Priest, Shaman, and Warlock. And for CMAC, it's going to be Druid, Rogue, and Shaman. So really, the Shamans being the only same class here, going to see quite a variety. Really curious to see what is brought. Priest has both aggressive and slow miracle sort of options, so especially curious about that one. We'll have to wait and see here.
Very interested to see if, since there's the possibility of Miracle Priest, if we're going to see any like showstoppers or silence tech coming out from CMAC. And once again, this is Hero once again actually. So. We might not see always the best decks for every situation, as we saw. Justin brought some interesting choices last time. We might see some of the interesting choices from these players this time.
So if you're ready, I'm ready, and if our viewers are ready, then let's get going here. So we're going to see.
Keep your butts glued to your seats, because this is going to be. We're coming in for a landing. This is going to be that last series here on the night, determining the series we started out with.
We're doing a Halo.
Gotta be a
drop.
good one.
That's what we're doing. It's a high
altitude. Halo drop.
Altitude something. So whatever the acronym stands for. Anyway, so Wild 9 is going to be at the bottom of your screen. We're first to spectate with the casters and our viewers, and then we got CMAC sitting in at the top there.
Okay, I've tried to predict the beginning decks last few times. Manadon, do you have a prediction here, what they're going to bring?
Wow, put me on the spot. Okay, let's see. What are they going to bring? I want to see. Let's see. I think we're going to see CMAC on the Druid, and to answer that, we're going to go with aggressive Priest for Wild 9. That's my prediction.
Yeah, pull a Steve Harvey. Bring me Priest. Bring me Druid.
Come on. Let's see Priest. Let's see Druid. Let's see Priest. Let's see Druid. And we miscounted Lethal, by the way. Everyone's giving us a hard time.
Supposed to be.
When I don't have my counter. Okay, I'm like watched. Okay, I need my Hearthstone deck tracker to do all the counting for me.
I am scrubbed clean. No, no dirt on me. I'm super washed. Which deck? Sorry, which game was this that we missed lethal?
Well, we didn't miss lethal, but you said that Ron was giving up, like if we had done the trade, but it was not one off. It was exact there on board. So, but even with the damage going on to the 4-2, I think it was lethal. So anyway, that's dead and gone. The game's over. We're already in the future.
That's past tense. You're right.
We are living in the future, and
eyeballs are up.
They've already forgotten about it. Everyone that was watching until we reminded them. All right, who are we spectating first?
Wild.
All right, what did we get?
Shaman. Okay, so.
All right, so the only class mirror of this matchup to start things off.
And it's probably a deck mirror too. I think that's Burn Shaman from both. Let's see if either of them can get an early Wild Paw Caverns. Usually it's the standby of the deck, but we only saw it once.
Yeah, gonna full mull here for Wild 9. CMAC thinking about a couple of different things. Primordial, not a bad start. We saw how well that did for Vino. Sleepmaker also a nice turn 2. If you don't find the Vosh, but we found Lady Vosh. There she is.
If the Vosh Prime gets drawn, then we might see another absolutely crazy game like we just saw with Vino. But if it just gets buried in that deck somewhere, we might see Wild 9 use that to catapult himself into a better position.
Yeah, I think probably just going to be, considering the studies here, just get another studies off. Just ignore the discount for the next one. Get the Vosh down anyway. Sure, get the card played. Know what you're dealing with. Sure.
And we get, thank you once again, Saku. We get Wild 9's Jam Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jam Cam.
Wild 9 is a tendency to, get right vibing, as they say.
And right now, full concentration though for Wild 9.
Yep, you'll see his fingers move quite a bit as well. So counting. Who needs calculators when you got fingers, right?
So Wild 9, considering that second wind chill, continue cycling the deck. Going to be using it. Frostbite picked up. Also, a lot of burns starting to appear here.
Yeah, but we do see the early minion pressure coming out from CMAC, and if that can just deal damage, it really reduces how much he needs to do with burn.
Ooh, second Macaw picked up. Not what you want to be seeing here for Wild 9. Could see some of this burn being used to just fight for the board.
It is most likely what we're going to see here. Probably just going to save up to get a turn 5 Brucon into, some early Macaws copying Brucon. But I don't think it's going to be quite enough.
Yeah, I mean, it'll certainly be a good amount of pressure. So going to start with that Serpent Shrine, and it's going to summon that elephant, going to remember everything played on the other side. And we're playing the same deck, so it's all good. It's all gravy.
It does mean that Wild 9's deck gets watered down maybe a little bit. Or we could just see the devolving missiles come down. We'll see.
All right, so Wind Chill added to the Elix memory banks.
Yeah.
library, whatever. I guess he's in a library.
Certainly a lot of wind chills being played this game. And it looks like Wild9's going to get to play a few more.
Yeah, so interesting turn here. You were talking about that Brucon. I think we will see that next turn. So pretty limited in the options. Maybe considering not wanting to get another studies in the deck with this Elic, but going to go for it here. Gets the Zapper or Phoenix, both potentially good options. Steward with this kind of a full hand, maybe not quite as exciting.
Yeah. Phoenix also, just quite slow. I mean, we're not looking to actually do anything like with the Phoenix until probably turn 7 anyways, so I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean,
probably the most flexible though.
The Phoenix could come down after the Brucon if we've started to find some stuff, but gonna go for the Zapper, just have a free spell damage minion for later on. And actually gonna use a Frostbite here without getting the trigger, just to try to reduce some of that face damage.
I mean, hey, you just get it back in your deck anyways?
Yeah, unless we do see Devolving Missiles come down eventually, maybe C-Max saying, I don't want to lose to my own cards. I don't know. I mean, again, adding more cards to the deck could. So far, we have like 2 wind chills in there. So wind chills, yeah, help you cycle, but they're not dealing damage, and they do cost some mana, even though it's just 1, and you need targets. So maybe adding those wind chills to the deck isn't so bad for C-Mac.
Yeah, and with C-Mac doing that, we saw Wild9's face scrunch up in disgust at just how many wind chills are going to be in his deck soon. This was a card I didn't even realize was still in Standard. Blistering Rot. Okay.
Yeah, wow. And a cute little living rot. Got his little snail buddy. I guess he's eating the snail buddy. I don't know how they work, but they don't seem too friendly.
Yeah, it's got a great.
I think it's still. Yeah, I think still it's just the Brucon here, right? I don't see a better play available. You have those macaws to get those triggers even more. I guess it's again. Do you want Lightning Bloom and Coin in your deck? Probably not.
Yeah, in this case, the Brilliant Macaws, you really probably want the Brilliant Macaws to copy a multicaster or something like that. But
yeah,
nothing to find with that right now.
Yeah, I guess deal 6 here. Just start chipping away. Maybe you get some more 6 damage hero powers off of the macaws if you need to do it that way. And there's another 6 damage hero power.
Okay, yeah. I mean, hey,
we can just fireball every turn for a couple turns, maybe.
Maybe you don't need to draw with the macaws if you just keep getting it.
All right, Devolving coming down. So saying, all right, your Alex had enough fun.
And
can't remember anything anymore. Back to being a little tiny, cute little Murloc Typhon. We got all the cute minions this game.
And Wild9, I think, confused a bit there, as maybe I was too. I mean, definitely not getting all of the weird coins and wind chills back into Wild9's deck. So, interesting decision.
If only I had some worm soup. Tell it like it is, Wild9. Worm soup. That would help you out of this situation. But right now, kind of an awkward turn again. I mean, you hit the nail on the head saying we need to draw something like anything really to get the battle cry going off. It could be that multicaster, more and more likely than not that we want, but so far not able to find it. Actually using the overdraft here and not trading it to try to find something else.
Yeah, just saying that the Brilliant Macaws will carry us there, and I mean, if we can get the DL6 again, but we can't.
Not able to this time. and getting a pretty rough hero power, only getting 3 heal off. I mean, healing's not bad in this matchup, but it might come down to just like an OTK, potentially.
Yeah. If we can get the deal 6, and then the Brilliant Macaw can give another deal 6, and we might just see the game end. Not this next turn, but the turn after. But this Vosh is maybe going to end the game even a little bit sooner than that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, CMAC at 13, so quite a lot of damage already done on one side. So plenty of burn for Wild9 in the deck. Just have to find something like that multicaster to get things moving. But for now, it is going to be CMAC fighting back for the board. Has quite a few tools to do that. Gets a Stormwind Piper. Okay. Not really going to do too much there.
Volley missiles. We'll see if they all hit the Murloc here.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Nope, not going to happen this time. Does switch the desk camp to a Murloc Tiny Fin.
This could be absolutely terrible for CMAC. It depends on how mean he feels, whether he is going to let himself kill those cute little Tiny Fins.
Oh, but those cute little Tiny Fins just going to add stats to this Snowfall. But do we just want to play the Macaw again? I don't. This is a weird one.
Yeah.
Macaw was maybe our win condition, getting one more proc here.
Could also decide to if you send one of the Tiny Fin space, one into the Vosh Prime, and then Frostbite it, you are still able to get the deal 6 damage next turn, and then the Macaw getting.
And then Macaw, well. Sure. Yeah, tough choice here. Wild9 hovering the Snowfall, thinking maybe that the pressure is enough here, and we have potentially other ways to find damage. Looking like it is going to be that Guardian, so no more Macaws getting that hero card, and we did not hit the 6 damage, so.
Yeah. So possibly the correct decision from Wild9. We'll have to see if he gets some draw though to speed this up.
Yeah, it does need to just connect really with one more minion, and then if we do find that 6 damage hero power, we'll be in pretty good shape at some point. We have the Frostbite for 3 damage, so very, very close to just having it. On the other side, though.
Yeah, on the other side, a lot of spell damage.
Yeah, how much damage is this right now? That's 6, 12, 18. Overdraft does. How much overload will we be at?
It's going to be at so
4. Oh, yeah, 3. Yeah, so 3 and then 6. So that's not quite enough. But pretty good result, able to clear off that minion and start pressuring on the other side.
My mistake, I had missed the previous overload that was already on the hero there. Wow, and that's a really good draw, the Brilliant Macaw. So he's still going to be.
Yeah, is that just Vosh still, right?
It's still Vosh.
Yeah, so that might just be the game there. Then Macaw might seal the deal on the other side. No way to overload for this landslide. So just going to have to Macaw to freeze and hero power maybe, I guess.
Well, hey, at least the hero power will kill off most of this board here, but still, the Vosh Prime might just seal it.
Yeah, Wild9 doing the finger counting.
Yeah, in this case, can double landslide here and just leave the Stormwind Piper on the board.
Yeah, that does not enough mana though to do that and the hero power. So probably hero power and then landslide. Oh yeah, the hero power landslide will. Yeah.
No. In this case, could Frostbite? Oh. Okay. Hold up. If
6 damage hero power.
Here, if CMAC misses, this could just be it. This is the threats going back and forth across the bow here.
Wild9 doing some counting on the fingers. Multicaster coming
Oh,
down
that is
instead of the Vosh. Was there another battle cry that we missed? I can't remember
No.
if there was something else. I thought there wasn't.
Maybe C-Mac forgot that it was Vosh. But that just seems like that might be the perfectly wrong decision.
Still going to come down to some of these top decks potentially here for either player. Wild 9 right now, if these 1/1s are dealt with at all, or a taunt or anything is in the way, we have 9 damage from hand.
I'm coming. The storm is in me.
Yeah, in this case, just not quite enough damage here. Clearing off some of the minions will make it not be lethal to a 3 damage spell.
Yeah, so just going to kill off both minions to make sure that not currently dead to what we can see. Sleepbreaker not going to do it. Could draw the answer, though. Could draw lethal.
Yep. Any damage spell does do it here, except for the Overdraft itself.
Yeah, we only need to play 7 mana of stuff. So Overdraft, you could still trade it for a Lightning Bolt. I think we still have one more Lightning Bolt.
Hovering the Frostbite instead. Okay, yeah, here we are.
All right, Wind Chill. I'm going to come down.
Okay, well, there's the Overdraft.
Overdraft.
The perfectly wrong
could cycle it. Is there a Lightning Bolt? I don't know. Do you have Tracker up? I can't.
Yeah. There's Lightning Bolts. There's that is wait. If
you get it,
no, there's not. Unfortunately, it's 1 mana off if you get the double.
No, but
damage.
if you get spell damage, you don't have overload, but you do have spell damage, so the landslide's still going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, but you only get 1 landslide.
You don't get the hero power though.
Yeah, this is I think. No.
That's unfortunate.
Well,
but you gotta clear what you can here.
Yeah, so choosing to avoid doing lethal and instead saying that the Macaw will get there.
This Macaw coming down to be able to draw some more off of the multicaster proc. Is this going to be enough on this side? Does find the freeze there along with the Macaw, so could freeze indefinitely.
Yes, and that will stall just enough into this Brucon as well to stay alive longer.
Yeah, so there comes the freeze, and what could be the draw there is that Lightning Bolt we needed last turn. Not quite going to do it here, although it will be able to clear, I believe, with the Lightning Bolt on the 9/9, and the landslide does.
Yeah, unfortunately, you also need to use the Frostbite.
Yeah, you need to use the Frostbite.
And you're 3 off lethal. So,
wow.
Okay. Could just say that your opponent doesn't have it, and do Lightning Bolt plus Landslide here after healing. But
yeah, I mean that might have to just be
okay, or saving it.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, if you clear this, how do you win? But if you don't clear this, how do you win? It's tough. I think maybe you have to clear this and hope that your 10/10 connects. It forces that Macaw next turn. Maybe you find something on the other side. If they play Brucon into the full commit, so actually just going to hold on to both.
It doesn't find the 6 damage there, but if the opponent is focusing on just playing, yeah, I think this is maybe not going to work out as intended here.
All right, so just going to freeze once again, get the caverns down. Yeah, so able to stay alive.
And that's it.
Wow.
Okay, well, yeah, choosing not to play Brucon and heal itself, that's it.
Yeah, just maybe C-Mac saying you didn't play those cards last turn. Maybe you didn't have burn in the hand. Maybe it was some more reactive stuff and not healing, determining the game there. I'm not sure though. Actually, if Brucon would have done it, I guess you get the taunts in the way. and you deal with some of the other board. There's still a 10-10 on the board. You couldn't Brucon end freeze.
Well, yeah, I think, I mean, so you could have traded into the 10-10 and just say that you eventually will get there after healing yourself for like 11 there or something. But, yeah, it did not work out so well for C-Mac just in that final bit.
No, not quite, but C-Mac saying, okay, if you're playing this Burn Shaman, I'm going to bring what I think will do well. And to me, this looks probably like Ramp Druid, if I had to guess.
Yes. So that really depends on how well the Ramp Druid is going to pop off in the early game here. In my experience, Ramp Druid either just finds exactly what it needs and, like plays Kazakhstan on 5 or something like that and gets just the perfect treasures, or Burn Shaman just gets there and it kills the Ramp Druid. So we'll see.
Yeah, Wildpaw Cavern's a good start pickup there for Wild 9, and then a nice curve there for C-Mac with the Guff and the Kazakhstan in the hand.
Yeah, that is that
and
is
the Fungal Fortune
on the better side for sure.
Yeah, and the Fungal Fortune's picked up, meaning you can feel pretty free to just rip it now. No risk of the Kazakhstan getting removed.
Cenarian Ward, very good here too. Yeah, you just want to get as much health in the way here as possible. So Guff, Cenarian Ward. We saw the we saw the Feral. I'm gonna forget every single card name here. The gain 8 for 3 mana.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There it is.
There it is. Now you can hover it and figure out the name is Feral Rage.
Yep, and I can hover it, and the deck tracker can say "drawn by Fungal Fortunes" over the card name. Thank you. Okay.
Overgrowth picked up going into turn 4 is pretty nice, although we do have the Guff as well, so kind of be a pick your poison.
We'll take both. As Ramp Druid, you will gladly take both. In this case, Wildpaw Cavern not going to be as good because of the Scale of Onyxia already in hand, though. The Ramp Druid just has so many tools to slow down the Burn Druid at this point. Burn Shaman.
Yeah, so going to be the decision to play the Guff here first, and then you can still Hero Power for some more mana if we want, and finding the other bloom as well. Resizing and another bloom. So we have all of the potential options there. I think we are overloaded too, but we have 4 free crystals next turn if we want.
Yeah. Actually going to have 5 free crystals because 1 more mana there on 7, which means that you can bloom out the Scale of Onyxia. And probably going to happen here. Once Wild 9 plays, I don't know, maybe a Novice Zapper and Windchill. Maybe just Hero Power Windchill. Oh, no, that's a pretty good option to scale Onyxia into.
Yeah, if you get that, that'll be really nice. You don't want too wide of a board going to a Snowfall Guardian. So ideally you get most of your scale traded off if you were able to fight for the board that way. And this will allow just that. No, so going to trade it actually.
Good. Scale of Onyxia is still probably going to be the play, even though it only kills off 3 minions.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good.
Just reducing the pressure so much into the Cenarian Ward in the following turns, and then
yeah, I mean, you get to full clear this board, keep a couple of them as well. I like it.
Or it's not, entirely out of the question to Hero Power plus Overgrowth. I just think that the Scale slow down is just so needed.
Yeah, can Lunar Eclipse first gives you more 2/1s alive. It doesn't, you're hoping to get maybe these 2/1s to push some damage before a Guardian comes down. They would need a Lightning Bloom to play the Guardian next turn.
Yeah, don't really like the option to do that. You're not going to overdraw anything here, and in this case, it means you have less removal for future turns. In the
Yeah, it was one more 2/1, so the value wasn't that high for the usage there of the 3 damage. We are just going to see Wind Chill come out first. There's a second Lightning Bloom. Does that mean, no, we are going to Sleep Breaker. No need to Snowfall just yet.
Yeah.
Has the Brilliant Macaw as well to just Snowfall into Macaw very shortly.
And yeah, I mean, not overloaded, so Snowfall looking pretty good next turn.
On the other side, I mean, this is as good a turn as any if you want to play the Kazakhstan and start getting some treasures. You're not under too much pressure just yet. It might become more difficult to play later on.
Yeah.
There's also other plays to do this turn, so no need to force it. But
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's pretty fine to just get as much mana as possible into the Kazakhstan turn. Just like you're not dying immediately at this moment, so just being able to have an absolutely crazy turn coming up with Kazakhstan treasures looking pretty good. Yeah, it's a bit more ramp.
yeah, Cold Tooth. What are we grabbing here? The other scales.
Okay, it means
So, yeah,
this is the spell druid then.
Yeah, this tops out at the Kazakhstan. Does not run any of the other stuff.
Yeah, and so no Onyxia, no
No Malagos.
yeah, that's the name. And in this case, I mean, hey, we've been talking about Snowfall Guardian all this time, but yeah, Brukan
Yeah.
into the Brilliant Macaw is going to be pretty good and maybe necessary here for Wild9 to have a chance.
Yeah, starting to apply some pressure. There's the deal 6. Could go for the deal 2 on the minions and just start pushing that damage as soon as possible. Only has the Frostbite in hand as far as burn goes, but applying the pressure, crucial here. Although we see so much armor gain on the other side, we can play this in our inward this turn, gain some more mana if we want. We have both of these Moon Touched corrupted now. It's a pretty solid minion. Does get the clear, and it looks like, are we gaining mana and playing? Yeah, playing one of these armor gains. Sure. Okay, running the engineer. I've seen a lot of people start cutting that. Sometimes a 1-0 though. Finds a nature spell. I feel like every time I play that card, I never find a nature spell.
Yeah, it's just glued to overdrafts for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Never find an elemental with it.
Oh,
Wild9 a little bit better off though. Okay, a turn a little later than you'd like for the for both solar eclipses, but
Wow.
okay.
Are we gonna see? Oh, okay, no. Just gaining just as much armor as possible.
Yeah, and applying a little bit of pressure here with that damage too. All right. On this side of things, Wild 9, a lot of cards, not that much going on just yet.
Yeah, really just this is where the Vosh Prime that we saw from CMAC last game would be crucial. Just give a huge turn, but I don't think that Wild 9 is going to be able to do, well, in this case, 50 damage. Especially there's so much glut clogging up his hand. Like he can't play the Snowfalls before he necessarily plays the Brilliant Macaw.
Yeah, it's also one of those things that at this point in the game, you know they must have the Kazakhstan. You saw them play Cold Tooth Mine. Even if you didn't know that it was scale that was picked up, you assume they probably pulled out the Kazakhstan. So you're under a clock, and having those Guardians also for potential big boards off of the Kazakhstan can be really, really strong. They play Locust, and then you can lock them out of the game and win that way. So I can understand wanting to hold on to them and trying to utilize them later. So I like this play by Wild 9 to just go in here, force out some more answers, sees that this is the scale of Onyxia, so will, I think, 100% know that the Kazakhstan's in hand, since this was the highest cost spell in the deck, or highest cost card.
Yeah, so I don't think you see if your opponent has chosen high or low, but
yeah, you saw 7.
He knows that's not the low, so.
Right, yeah, I think pretty safe to say that's not the lowest card left. So assuming it's the highest, that a higher cost card has to be in the hand. And now has all of the Guardian and the Brilliant Macaws to just outlast anything on the other side. But yeah, it looks like it's finally time. Kazakhstan coming down. Stuff like Locust, things that you're really looking for, could actually be bad in this matchup. Might look for other ways. Anoyo Horn, another one of those can fill up your board. Puzzle Box could be fun with Anoyo Horn.
I think the gnome tools, Tinker's tools, something like that. That's maybe the best one in this matchup. Just so much health.
Yeah. Holy Book. Beastly Beauty, okay. Exerciser, yeah. Pure Cold, I guess, maybe to push damage. I don't know.
Or the Fireballs of Ragnaros.
Oh, Canopic Jars with some other stuff. I don't know if they're going to be clearing your minions, though, so the Death Rattle's probably not too relevant.
I don't think you're going to have many more boards of minions here. I guess the Anoyo Horn specifically, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking for, right? Is that Anoyo Horn? But we have the answer on the other side with those Snowfalls. So we're going to have to find another way. I don't know if Wild 9's able to find some burn. This could really, really be tough. So yeah, multicaster going to come down here for how many draws we get. Okay, we get 3 draws. Find the other multicaster. Have the Caverns and Hero Power available here.
I don't know, man. With this much armor, though, it's looking like this game is just about still going to continue. As we see Wild 9 drawn through just the last cards of his deck, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Wild 9 might be able to seal it if Anoyo, like, the thing is, C-Max damage that's left. We saw, I think, what most of the cards C-Mac picked, and really the only boards left are those Anoyo modules, right? And those will fill up the board, and Snowfall Guardian is just going to lock that out.
Yeah.
Right, and then we just find enough burn. I mean, maybe there's just not enough burn in the deck, but...
Okay, well, actually, with this Kazakhstan hitting face, actually, Pure Cold just does it, because he has the, Moontouch Amulet, he also has the Solar Eclipse, so, yeah, if he just finds one Pure Cold, then it's actually already lethal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, finding those, the Pure Cold could do it. Gonna use it here, though, just get extra armor. And it's 4 less damage, but still quite good. But now both, you need to find both of those to win the game here. On the other side, though, there's a little bit of burn coming out. It's going to take a few turns.
Yeah. I mean, we're drawing all the rest of the burn in our deck in these next few turns here, but it's our hand is so clogged, unfortunately. Have to play the landslides, play one of the snowfalls right now, basically.
Yeah, it might have to be the snowfall here. We'll see what this overdraft pulls. The other overdraft.
Yep, solid.
Yeah, I don't mind the snowfall. Just apply some pressure. It looks like we are going to go the route of so it is going to be one of those snowfalls. We just have so many freezes. It's just not going to matter. We're going to draw our deck before we get more freezes. There is the Annoy module though, which will slow this down, but that is not lethal. So and critically at 17 health does mean that the two spells will not seal it. I actually really do think Wild 9 might be able to close this out.
This is where it's just a little bit barely unfortunate here for Wild 9 though, is that he used his snowfall right before learning that there's the Annoyo horn on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we know that, but there's still 3 turns of freezes available with the macaws. So as long as we're able to get the rest of our deck in that time, and maybe this Primordial could find us Phoenix or something. You could Phoenix, play the macaw, set up for like a 2-turn situation. How much room do we have on the board? We have enough room to play the snowfall on both macaws, but we would have to trade one of these off. There's no way to trade off the minions yet, so
Okay.
a little awkward.
If we can clear one of these minions off of our board, then actually Holy Book into a spell damage minion could be just enough damage to with the pure colds, but probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I just it's going to come down to if Wild 9 can find enough damage in this deck. Steward, interestingly picked, does mean it's not going to be, I don't think we have room for too many spell damage minions very soon. So going to use the expensive one here, the Guardian. Macaw, a little bit more flexible. Maybe we only want one more turn of freeze, and then we want the other Macaw to do something else. But right now, no room to play with, although I guess some of these minions could trade it. I don't know. I don't know if you want to summon random legendaries, but I don't know how you win through the damage. We'll see here. We'll see. It's getting very close. Pure Cold found off the top is going to start pushing that damage. Very, very close. Still need one more damage on top of those two. Or no, yeah, you need one more damage on top of those 2 Pure Colds.
Yeah.
This could find it. This could find it. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Kazakhstan maybe a little bit too crazy. It looks like it's just about crashing my computer every single time he plays a spell.
Oh boy. Wait. Both of those, that's crazy, those 2 Bone Chewer Vanguards. What?
Did I disconnect?
You might have. Wait, holy moly, the Matron Protectorate. I don't think I've ever seen this card be played, but there you go. Wild stuff going on. It is going to be some trades for Wild 9. Did we want a minion in our deck? I guess it's an infinite minion, but I don't think we win off of minion pressure. We know they have another Canopic or another Annoyo horn. Gonna be making the trades though, it looks like. And I guess freeze again, whatever minions get summoned here.
Yeah, I've seen 3 of the transformations. My computer is still handling it.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Well, a lot is going on. We've got another freeze. We've got invocation going face. Some trades have been made. Is it going to be enough? There is one more turn of a macaw that can come down here shortly. On the other side, a Noyo horn picked up once again, as well as a holy book, but no minion that you can really use that on here.
Oh,
Makes too much sense.
okay. The 8/8 taunt, the increase to the cost of spells, may be going to be an MVP here as well.
Where are you seeing that? What are you talking about?
Oh no.
Like, I know what you're talking about, but we're not seeing any of those. What are you watching?
Oh, no.
I think you've got something bugged out on your side. Because I'm looking at a Dreadfang, a Matron Protectorate, 2 Vanguards, Nazat. What? I have no idea what you're seeing. That would be a big card if it was here, though.
The Demon Hunter taunt.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just not here.
and my client won't actually load the name of it.
Oh, no. Wow. Kazaku-san just bugging out your client. Wild 9 just doing some counting, trying to figure out. I think it has to be the macaw here. The question is, what do you follow it up with? I guess it's got to be macaw before the steward if you're going to macaw and steward. Will we have enough damage in time? That is the question. Wild 9 really thinking this one over.
Yeah, I'm gonna try restarting my Hearthstone client and see if I can do it. Sorry for that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. It was just funny. And right now it looks like a Wild 9. Yeah, gonna just go for the freeze with that final macaw. This is the final freeze of the game. Gonna come down to the next turn, I would guess. There is the Pure Cold coming off the top for CMAC. And Puzzle Box available as well, so could see that come down to try to maybe find some better minions. But first, going to remove this macaw. And the Hele, I don't know how to say the name of this thing. Matron Protectorate, Hale, maybe. Doing some work here with the spells, though. After you cast a spell, deal 4 damage randomly split among all enemies. I don't know if these are ever connected face, but it's down to this. Is there going to be enough damage here on this turn? I'm not seeing it for Wild 9.
I don't feel like there's going to be enough spells to deal enough damage with it. Problem.
Yeah, Lightning Storm into double landslide. We don't have any spell. We have 1 spell damage. So Lightning Storm, can we clear here? With Lightning Storm doing 4 damage plus landslide dealing another 4 damage. That should clear off most of this board here. Double landslide, Lightning Storm. Maybe don't even Lightning Storm. Let's see. I think probably though. Yeah. Does clear off most of this board here. So we are going to survive 1 more turn, it looks like. Depending on these legendary minions that get summoned. This is a good result there. Gonna have to freeze off some of these, and that is just not going to be enough, though, unfortunately. Oh no, we have the 2 taunts, so maybe just enough. Let's see, Horn number 2 available. Puzzle Box, the other option. This is a very close one. I think it's probably going to be some trades into the Horn, though, and that is going to, I would guess, seal the deal unless we, I don't know. I don't know where the damage is coming from, but maybe there is enough in this deck to deal like 50 damage. I don't think so. I think it might just come down to this Horn. sealing the deal here. No more freezes, not enough damage, not able to find enough spell damage. I mean, we have +1 right now, and the hero power does 6, plus all these spells do 4. So we got 4, 8, 12, 16, 22, plus the overdraft will do another. Oh no, never mind. We had our minion change, so we don't have spell damage either. But that's it. Wait! Oh!
Wow. Okay.
C-Mac conceding there just...
Did not expect that.
I don't know. I thought the Annoya Horn was enough there. I don't think we needed to evolve everything. Hitting a pretty awkward evolve, and C-Mac just conceding there. Ooh. I don't know. I mean, we had quite a lot of damage, but I don't think it was enough. I think C-Mac had some inevitability, just tons of health.
Yeah,
we had like maybe 30 damage on the side of Wild 9. I guess with those minions it would have been enough, but if we hadn't evolved those minions, I don't know. That was a weird one. But Wild 9 going to continue with this Burn Shaman, just hoping to get the full sweep here on C-Mac. Rogue coming out. Looks like Poison Rogue. This is going to be an interesting one. It's Caverns, I think, going to be a big pickup here if Wild 9 can find it.
Yeah, Caverns basically seals the deal here, and then the only way that the Poison Rogue can really keep up is if they cloak up or get that Scabs.
Wow. I'm surprised by that concede by C-Mac. I really thought there was a line there. I think just the Annoyo Horn. I don't think there was good enough to get through there. We were at how much health? We were at like almost 50, right? We had 27 health and like 17 armor.
Yeah. I personally didn't see the line for C-Mac to get there, but I also didn't see anything. So in this case, we could probably
yeah, you didn't get to see much that game. Are you back in, first of all?
I think I'm also lagging quite far behind you in Discord, unfortunately.
Oh no. All right, hopefully we can make it through.
Sorry, you're gonna have to carry the casting just a little bit longer here.
Oh, no problem. It looks like to start we have Wild 9 on the Shaman, of course, C-Mac on the Rogue, of course. Nothing going so far. Guild Trader traded off by C-Mac. Just trying to find those tools. Does have the Swine Tusk Shank already, as well as the Silverleaf Poison, so can start seeing some cycling going. On the other side, Wild 9, just with a Sleep Breaker on 2, standard stuff. Going to get traded off here with that Swine Tusk. Can I interest you in another Sleep Breaker here? Because that's what we're getting.
Nothing but sleep breakers. I hear you.
Might just see this Wind Chill come out to start cycling, as well as get that Frost Spell. And that is exactly what's happening here. Probably. Oh, there's the Wildpaw Caverns. There is the Wildpaw Caverns. Going to be able to be played next turn. Could be crucial here. Does get the Deadly Poison off, as well as this Swindle. I think this is going to go face in this case. That minion is frozen. Who cares about it? And we get the Silverleaf Poison. Big damage, big draw here for C-Mac. 4 damage going in. Gets the draw. Not finding any more poisons. Does have, besides the Paralytic that's available next turn with that Swindle. So looking pretty good here for C-Mac, but that Wildpaw Cavern is starting to come down.
Yep.
Might slow things down.
Yep. Getting one of those to freeze his face is going to slow him down quite a bit.
Yeah, so maybe going to have to just try to push as much damage this turn and look for that, yeah. So yeah, gonna trade things around, push some damage. It looks like attacking into the 3/4 here with immune. So gonna avoid the poison or the freezing there. So really well done there by C-Mac, avoiding the freeze, getting the trade. Doesn't mean you're not pushing this turn, but it avoids having to delay things. Lightning Bolt coming out from Wild 9 just to get extra draw off the multicaster.
Leprechaun, Serpentine. Chirp and Shrine. The board keeps growing.
The board continues to grow. Yeah, but still looking for Cloak here. Gonna really, really be looking for that Cloak to try to push damage and ignore these freezes. There's that Cloak. So we might be able to, yeah, we might be, oh, with both Cloaks picked up. That is huge. That might just be the game here for CMAC. 7 damage going face. Gonna be able to Cloak this turn. Also, Sinister Strike available. Could hold on to that, though. It's always 0.
Yeah.
So we're going to hold on to that. And Cloak can be followed up next turn. Another Cloak. We also have Guild Trader in hand with both Garrots and a Wicked Stab and a Prep and the other Sinister Strike. So how much damage do we actually have next turn? It could just be over. We have, mana-wise, we can play Guild Trader, double Sinister Strike. That's 4, 5, plus
7.
Prep,
Yep.
Wicked Stab, and Garrot all in one turn. And that would be 5, 10, 6, 5, 10, 16, 20 damage, plus the weapon is 7. Yeah, that's just gonna seal the deal, unless we can't even use this Frostbite to get any discounts going, or to get the mana cost high on the other side. So that is going to be the game. CMAC able to secure it here. I imagine if we just do some counting, I think CMAC sees it. But that should be way more than enough. Yeah, Guild Trader coming down. And that is going to be the game going to CMAC. So able to find the win with the Poison Rogue. Let's see if Poison Rogue can find that reverse sweep.
13.
Bird Shaman finally taken down.
And secondarily, let's see if I can miss a third game here.
Make it 3 for 3.
There he goes.
Is the next game already up? Because right now it's not letting.
Not yet.
Okay.
The hero just exploded there for Wild 9. And what do you expect here for Wild 9 to bring into that Poison Rogue?
Okay, so he's got Priest and he's got Warlock. If that's a aggressive Priest, aggressive Priest is definitely going to be the ticket against the Poison Rogue. And then if it's more of a Miracle Priest or something like that, then he might just have to hope on the Warlock getting there, hopefully with the Vipers in it.
I think Friday night Wild 9 brought the Shadow Priest, I believe, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Could see a reprisal of that. We will see in a second. It is Priest, the choice here for Wild 9, so I would lean that you're probably right here, and those Defiance Lepers would answer that question. Void Shard, Wriggling Horror, Mr. Smite. Yeah, I think we've got an aggro Priest on our hands. That means this is going to be another tough one for CMAC, but a similar sort of line could find it and has the Shank and Cloak in hand, could consider keeping those for the matchup if he's anticipating. Not going to keep the Cloak, but going to keep, obviously, the Shank. And on the other side, Wild 9 going for a full Maul, finds double Freshman, and then Benedictus a little bit less exciting, and Void Shard as well.
He's diamond. He's exciting, but he's diamond.
That's true. He's really nice looking.
Shiny.
And double Freshman going down turn 1 with the Wriggling Horror in hand. This is a very aggressive start from Wild 9. And no answer here for CMAC for these just yet. Double Shank, double Wicked Stab in the hand, and a Swindle. A little bit clunky. Gonna just hero power here and go face and say, I guess these are staying on the board.
Exactly.
Still being forced out of client. Maybe I'm probably gonna restart again while I can at least not watch the game. I can watch Wild 9's reactions.
Well, maybe I might have another option here for you.
That might be quite telling for you. I think this might be over soon, though. The way things are going, it's going to be a trade into the Wriggling Horror here with the weapon to start. Man-Crick on 3. Nice curve going for Wild 9. A lot of pressure going. CMAC going to have to answer, find some poisons. That's not a poison. We do have Cloak to slow things down eventually, but for now, going to need to find other ways to find these poisons and get things going. Either trade this Extortion It looks like it is going to be a trade on the extortion. Viper found. That's another not too exciting pickup. And can I get a poison? Can still find a poison here. Third trade coming out with the Guild Trader, and that's some draw, but no poison.
By the way, thank you, Saku. I can now actually see the game. So
You're welcome, brother.
Yes, in this case, quite a lot of damage coming out from Wild 9 here. Void Shard with the backup too. I feel like even if CMAC has one, maybe even two cloaks, on the backswing at the end of that there is just going to be a dead rogue. And here we see...
I'm not seeing a line here for CMAC just yet, but don't count him out just yet. We do have one cloak available. If we find a couple of poisons, maybe we can get there. Going into turn 5 here, if you attack, do some damage and cloak. If we find like a 1-cost poison, that's not it. Could still find a 1-cost poison, get some discounts, and cloak this turn. Then we'd have to find cloak again next turn, and then find some more. But it looks like we are just going to have to clear this board as best as possible and hope we can make it. Right now, though, we can see just 1 mana off.
Ooh, yeah.
And very close to just having lethal here.
2 damage off. I mean, can play Raise Dead to get another Mankrik. Mankrik attacks through the cloak. So
I'm also looking at this Defias Leper. Kind of want to get it off with the Void Shard in hand. So a little interesting order here. I guess you have both Raise Dead and the Void Shard. So gonna make your choice here.
I can't play Mankrik and the Void Shard this turn, but can play Defias Leper and Hero Power. And then save the Mankrik for following turn.
Could raise. I mean, you could Raise Dead into the Mankrik and the Defias, right? It's not bad. It does mean you're not using your hero power, so we are going to just see that hero power.
Saving the Raise Dead doesn't need to play it right now. And the onus is on CMAC.
Yeah, CMAC has to find a lot this turn. Gonna just swing first, then prep the cloak. Okay.
I mean, it's things that he's going to be doing regardless, so.
Yeah.
Not out of the question here.
Yeah, I was thinking, if you do the trade first, maybe you find a poison you want to play. But I guess if we were always doing that, so the poison would discount the cutting class if we had gone with this. The swindle, we got a poison. But anyway, still going to have to find a cloak once again here.
There is no light, only
For CMAC. So yeah, just going wide here for Wild 9. Not really.
Yeah, don't like playing the Void Touch.
No, not when you could potentially get taken out. So I think we're going to see one of these poisons plus that swindle to try to find cloak, or could do this into the.
Okay.
Gets the discounts. Yeah, can try once again. I guess Silverleaf gives you one more draw.
Swindle will give you, it doesn't really give you 2, actually.
That's not
quite
it. I mean,
okay, so...
Yeah, you can still, if you don't find it here, you have one more shot with the, you can...
So you draw 4.
Yep. All right, is there a cloak? Gotta be a cloak. I still don't know that we're going to be able to make it. But maybe if we find cloak this turn, still has a chance for cloak here with the Blackwater Cutlass. Is there a discounted cloak? That's not going to do it, and that's not going to do it, and that is going to be the series here. Wild 9 taking the win in a very close series, just able to take it over CMAC. That first game with that game with the Druid, I wasn't sure if there was a line for CMAC versus Wild 9 there. I'd have to go back and see that. I think like just keeping the taunts was it. I don't know, but definitely the result of the play did not work out for CMAC. Hard to say. Maybe there was a line that would have worked with better evolves on one side. But that is going to be it. Wild9 takes it, gets the series for their team, and that is going to be at Diamond, moving on in the playoffs, make a 5 seed out of a mole hole, getting taken out here. Really, really close series. Well done by both teams, but we have with us right now the winner of this series, Wild9. Congratulations. Really well done. Really curious game 1. I think it was game 1, right? The Druid. No, that was game 2 maybe. Anyway, the Druid versus the Shaman. We thought C-Max actually maybe had it there, but ended up evolving all those taunts. I think he had something like 45 health, so I don't think you had quite enough damage in the hand with your burn. Tell me a little bit about that play, that turn. Yes.
Okay, good. Just checking. Which play? Sorry, the burn shaman, right? The burn shaman against Ramp Druid.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a weird.
Yeah. I mean, the plan was to wipe the board all at once, freeze him out as long as possible. When he conceded there, I had like 26 on board, right?
Yeah.
Like that, and then I don't know how much more I needed. I had a lot of burn in hand. I don't know if it was enough. I have no idea.
Right. Oh, I think you had enough because of the result. I'm saying C-Mac ended up making the Annoyo horn, which had a bunch of taunts that would stop any of your damage. And then
transform play.
He went for the transform, and that gave you more damage on your side and not enough taunts on his side.
Yeah. I don't know what he was afraid of. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I was down to my last freeze, so all my freezes were out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was into fatigue, but it's not like, I mean, he had a lot of life.
He had a lot of life, yeah.
So I don't know if he just thought that he needed to, like, I had some way out of that.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure. I'd have to look back at it as to why he went for the transform there.
Yeah, he might have been locked on to my idea of using the pure colds to finish off and getting maybe like a holy book onto a spell damage minion to increase that damage. But who's to say? We can only ask him after.
Yeah, and the Bracana Hero Power gave a few heals as well during that whole exchange, which allowed you to just stay healthy enough for a while, at least from that reach, and then you had the freezes. Anyway, really, really, really close matchup. Were you expecting? I know we were talking about some of the different decks. Were you expecting that Poison Rogue? I think that sort of with your lineup was somewhat surprising, but able to get that one win.
Initially, I was thinking that it would be Quest, but my teammates kind of had the read too that they thought it would be Poison most likely. And since I did bring the Warlock, so it was actually a situation where because I brought the Warlock and he was running Poison Rogue, if he gets the win basically if he had drawn what he drew in that first match against the Shadow Priest, I'd probably lose that one. And then I'm probably dead because my Warlock's probably not going to win against Poison Rogue.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit high risk, high reward, I would say. But interestingly enough, I kind of think it was the right read, even though things didn't work out, I guess.
Yeah. With your teammates sort of prodding you that it was going to be a Poison Rogue, did you end up including any Vipers? I know that even some Burn Shamans are including Vipers.
No. so that's why I was feeling pretty nervous. Like I was pretty much like, yeah, I better win with the Shadow Priest because I probably should have teched. Honestly, I was more concerned about the Burn Shaman. So my lineup is not that great into Burn Shaman. I think the Warlock I brought was LTK, and it, of course, is favored against Burn Shaman, but I was basically thinking like, yeah, is it enough? I don't know. I get nervous about LHS, so this is why I'm mostly a legacy player, and I came back to LHS this season. But like maybe I just have to be like, yeah, a 10% edge is fine. Like I shouldn't need to tech for it. I should just play a more standard list that plays Viper, right? Because it does have that tech slot, and that would have made me stronger against Poison Rogue for sure. So Looking back, it probably was the right call, and then just be like try to win also in the mirror. Yeah, I kind of knew. I kind of felt like the mirror for the Burn Shaman was like the most important game, even though that was game one. Just because I think that would have it just made it really tough on the other person, whoever loses that mirror match. So
Yeah, absolutely, and really well done there. You did end up winning that first game, the mirror, which I think led to a nice sort of play out for the rest of the series. Where you were able to kind of get those 2 wins with the Shaman, almost get the sweep, and then just had to find that last out there with the aggro priest, and got a pretty good matchup. Obviously, there was still a chance. But you had a very, very aggressive start. There's 2 1/4s on one, followed by the Wriggling Horror, and then the really, really nice curve there into the Man Crick. So yeah, well done there with the choices and the play.
But
go ahead.
sorry, that being said, with the whole you saying that you were nervous about LHS, I would say anything but seeing you jam on screen for so much of that match. Do you mind telling us what music you were?
It's still K-pop. Just like a random K-pop YouTube list and things like that sound pretty good. So,
Dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we love how you get animated. One with your K-pop rocking, we'll call it, and then we got your finger counting. You get your finger counting all the time, dude. Awesome.
Okay, like in the Burn Shaman in particular, I kept wondering what was left in his deck because he used all his burn. Like he had so much burn in the first half of that match, and I was like, wait, I guess he really just doesn't have any of the freezes at all. And then I forgot about Cavern, so I was like miscounting the cards too. And so it turned out fine. I mean, it was fine, but I was counting because I'm like, what is like the most amount of damage you can do with what I know is left in the deck? And I was like, I think I was 1 up from death or whatever, like maximum damage. I think I was like with the hero powers like at 17 and the match was like 16 or something like that. So I was like, okay, I should be fine. Like as long as I keep the board, I don't think he can kill me. Like there's just little things like that where I just realized like, oh, he only has 2 burn cards left, and then it's like, oh, he hasn't played Brukan yet, and then also he played the devolving missiles, right? So like he runs that in the list.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what did he cut? Did he cut Brukan? Like I know he cut. I'm assuming he cut the primal elemental, and then I wasn't sure what else he cut. So I was like, "Wow, this is interesting." Like, there's just devolving missiles just run in the deck, and so there's a bunch of little like things like that where I was like trying to figure out how to get there and how, because Burn Shaman, I feel like especially in the mirror, you can get there so many different ways, and it really depends on how you draw. Like I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't draw the multicaster, right? Like until did I draw multicaster? I don't even know if I drew multicaster.
It was midway through. I think it was like turn 5 or 7 or somewhere in that zone.
Yeah, and so it's like there were just little things where I'm like, okay, I think the only way to win is to outvalue through Brukan and try to do something with his caverns in the early game. And then he had to use a lot of burn for the board, or that was his decision instead of going face, right? And that was a line he took. So, my question was actually for the Poison Row game. There was nothing I could do, right? Like you could see his hand, so
he was
okay. I was just dead no matter what, right?
He was on full. Yeah, he was power mode right there on that 4th game, or 3rd game. So
just wanted to make sure because it felt bad on my side, and I kept thinking maybe there's some line. Like I was thinking about, is there any way for me to get these honorable kills like on my own minions? I'm like, I don't have 3 health minions. Like, is there something? Should I have like turboed out like more aggression? Like, should I have coined out the elemental on turn 1? Like little things like that, but. But once I saw his draw, I'm like, I don't think there's anything I can do here, but maybe there are better lines I should have taken, though, still.
I think it was
certainly a tough one. Yeah, with that kind of draw, I mean, you still were pushing quite a bit, but with those cloaks, just making it really, really hard. And then he had just all the burn as well to finish things off.
Yeah, from what I could see, it was pretty solved.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure. I honestly felt very unsure about that one in particular. Like, there's parts of it where I just felt like, I probably need to be more proactive. But I don't know. I don't know. After I saw what he did, though, I was like, okay, actually, probably there's nothing I can do.
He just came full tilt, and that was it.
Pretty
But
much.
Nothing you could do. You won the series. You did great.
yep.
Yeah.
You won the series for your team. You get to move on to the next round. All good things.
For sure. No, like Hero just always feels like you're like either a mistake or one bad draw away from just losing the whole thing. Like it just always feels like that to me.
Snowballs.
Yeah, certainly a lot of polarizing matchups. So making that one mistake or losing, like you said, that mirror in the first game there for the two of you could have really had a big influence on the rest of the series.
For sure.
Well, thanks again for joining us, Wild9, and congrats on the win, and good luck in the next round, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks
Got it,
for
man.
casting and everything.
You got
Appreciate it.
All right. So that pretty much
Woo!
closes it out. We got Miami Dunn's headphones are starting to die. So
Yeah,
you guys got any
they're
quick
falling
final
apart.
words before before we let people go for their evenings.
No, just it was a pleasure and good, nice first casting gig with you, Dranium. So thanks for subbing in here for
Appreciate
Bills
it.
this week. Hope we get some more chances in the future.
Yeah, I didn't bring the big money plays like he usually does, but I'm glad to have filled in, and it was great casting with you too, my head on.
All right. Thanks again for all our viewers out there. Terrific matches, well, in some cases, terrific results. So, and congrats to all the teams that moved on to the playoffs. So we will, of course, have some regular week stuff. So I don't know what's going on Monday, if anything's going on at all. Sometimes there's a tournament, but keep an eyeball on the Discord chat and announcements. Tuesday is typically Hearth Center with Lotus Knight bringing a bunch of people on and talking about stuff. Then we got Tavern Talk on Wednesday that's run by Dr. Fish and his crew. Then we got Wilding Out on Thursday afternoon. Or is it Thursday? It's Wednesday. Can't remember. Anyway, one of those 2 days. And then we got then we go cycle back to the Thursday night matches. And then Friday night fights, and then Salty Saturday, and then back here again on Sunday Showdown. So anybody that wants any matches to be played, please reach out to myself, Wild9, Lotus Knight, or Fish, and we will try and get you guys on stream. So on behalf of my crew tonight, thanks for everybody again for viewing, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye now.